Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, butterfly. Hello, flabbermaster. That's funny. My grandma uses that word from the time I was little. I'm just flabbergasted. Just flabbergasted. Good morning, Amy. How are you? I'm trying to make sure I've got everybody's schedule up because my employees are texting me like, when do I work next week? And I'm sitting here looking at the schedule and everybody's schedule's up, so I don't know why they're texting me. So what's everybody doing? I have a little bit of time, so I thought I'd drop on today. Nothing surprises me scrolling TikTok. 100%, right? Nothing surprises me anymore either. Nothing. Hey, Felicia. Hi, Melissa. So true. I was on just a little while yesterday and all hell broke loose on afterwards. So I was like, do I even want to go on today? And I was like, yeah, why not? How are you, Felicia? Ooh, it's fucking cold in here. Thank you. Don't fuck around. I know. Like that. Thank you for following. Thank you. I'm good. I just ordered lunch. Ooh, what'd you order? Hey, I like your name. I need to come up with a better name. Something like that. Oh, my lip is all weird today, y'all. Chicken strip sandwich. That sounds good. I kind of want Chick-fil-A today. And I got to take Liam back to the DMV today because he failed his eye exam, which we kind of knew he was going to. So I might get me some Chick-fil-A. Thank you. I was in the mood when I did it, obviously. And you have a right to have that mood on this app. That's for sure. Rose do now. I don't know, Shannon. What did she do now? I think that's just like been up there on my profile for a long time. The gypsy. Just need to take it down. What hasn't she done? You know, she's just bananas. I've stopped trying to figure out Gypsy. Like, I just think we're dealing with a mentally impaired human being at this point, and we're not going to make, yeah, he does wear glasses. Hey, Naomi. I was going to text you, but I didn't want to wake you up because I know you're so far behind me. She is a mentally impaired human being. And I think that people on our level trying to figure out her and the way she moves is a moot point. I know. I was hoping you were, though, getting some rest. So I just think that Gypsy is like, you know. Good morning, Grandma's babies. How are you? Naomi, how you feeling today? Good? I'm going to call you in a little bit. Okay. Good. Resting bitch face. I have the best screen names coming in here today. I know, but you know what? I think even after you talk to your son, I think we got a plan and we just got to move forward with it. And lots of prayers. Good morning, Patty. Lots and lots of prayers. I do believe in the power of positive energy, and I think we all just need to send Naomi all of our positive energy and prayers and, yeah, support right now. That's for sure. Y'all, all right, don't make fun of me, but I gave myself a lip flip 2 days ago. Well, I tried to anyways, and now my whole top lip is numb. So, if I drool on myself, it's my own fault. It's weird. I feel like I just left the dentist. I'm not going to do that again. So if you do your own Botox at home, don't do that. Didn't work out well. But yes, we all need to send Naomi all of our good energy. She's got a lot to take on here soon. And, you know, it's just a spot that I don't think any of us would want to be in, but we need to support her while she's going through it. Hey, Cherry. I was just telling everybody about my failed lip flip and my numb lip. Good morning. I want to take a drink of my coffee, but I'm scared I'm going to like drool all over myself. So, my poor lip. I know. I just think I almost got you to do it. I'm like, yeah, do it. It's a great idea. It works great. Let's do it together. Not the best idea I've had, but at least I took one for the team for all of you, and now you don't have to do it. So, anywho, what's everybody doing today? Anything fun? I don't know why I'm on. I just thought I'd get on Mom before I have to wake Liam up. Hey, Wicked Flower. I'm letting him do his summer thing. Is my son Jake and his partner are coming in town this weekend, and they've rented a condo on the beach. And so next week before school is going to be super busy with all the kids in town. So I'm trying to let him just like live his best life this summer and sleep all day if he wants, but it's already 100 degrees. I might go in the pool. That's smart. I can't wait for you two either, Cherry. I had a lot of people ask me, you should get in the pool, Naomi. That'd be good for you, about showing them how to do it. And I was going to give everybody the link if you want to order it. And I can do like a private Teams call or a Zoom call and kind of show you how it's done. And if you want to do it yourself, it's definitely doable. And it saves you a ton of money, and it's a way better product. So if you guys want to know, let me know, and I'll send you the link, and maybe I'll set something like that up. Minus the lip flip. Oh my God. It's so numb. I can't wait for you to either, Cherry. I'm so excited. So excited. But anywho, 100 degrees at 8 a.m. Don't you guys have winter too out there, Naomi? Like, doesn't it snow where you're at? Like, you have a pretty decent winter too, don't you? Kind of like Houston, like you guys are really hot in the summer and then it gets really cold in the winter. No snow for me. The last. Oh, really? I don't know why. I thought, hey, Sherry, thank you for the heart me. I thought you were like you had pretty decent winters out there. We don't have really snow in Houston either, like once every like 10, 20 years. It's a phenomenon for sure. But we have pretty cold winters. How are you? Not really talking about anything major today, just chatting a little bit. Or 60 degrees. Oh, wow. See, that's my kind of winter. Although I love Houston, it does get cold, believe it or not, in the winter time. But I do love me a winter closet, so I don't know if I want to give all that up. I love winter clothes more than summer clothes because they cover more. But a 60-degree winter does sound nice. I don't know why I thought you had snow out there and mountains and all kinds of weird shit like that. I do anything for that winter. I'm in St. Louis. I have humidity and cold. Yeah, St. Louis. So in the early 90s, my family's from Belleville, right across the bridge. And we owned coffee houses up there called Java Me Crazy. And we were up there for 2 winters. And I couldn't wait to get back to Houston. The winters in St. Louis are miserable. Miserable. Yeah. So that's why I go up to that area a lot, because my grandmother and my aunts and uncles live in like Millstadt and Belleville and all that. Yeah, they are terrible up there. I hated it so much. I hated it. But I do like the Midwest. It's so beautiful. All right, everybody. Gotta go. All right. I'm gonna call you in a little bit before I take Liam out for the day. I'll call you. I'll text you first. But I do love the Midwest. I love Illinois and Missouri. I think it's beautiful, but just not in the winter. It's just too gray and bleak for me and cold. And I probably put my car in a ditch like 20 times, like hitting black ice. Hey, Karen. I'm going to text you and give you my travel plans. Fall is beautiful there because I'm going to come stay with you for a few days. I just want to make sure you're going to be in town. I'm so excited. Can't wait. But yeah, I love St. Louis and I love that area. I just don't want to be up there in the winter. And I love the fall and the summers up there. The spring is beautiful. The spring is so beautiful in the Midwest. All the flowers and just everything's so green and pretty. I love it. God dang, it's cold in here. So what's going on today, everybody? Talk to me. Tell me what's happening. Anything new in the Chipverse? Anything going on? Other than they shut down their thing and Ken's a weirdo. Yeah, I'm going to make sure, though, Karen, that when I'm there with you, hopefully it's over the weekend because I think you're off on the weekends, right? That way we can do something and hang out and get into some fuckery together. So I'll text you and find out your days off. Oh, good. Okay, that's what I was thinking that you were. So I'm going to probably like do like a 3-day stay with you over the weekend so that we can go out and hang out and do stuff. I'm so excited. I'm going to stay in Clear Lake a few days too, and then I got to go down to Bay City and stay down there a few days, and then I got to be in the Med Center a few days. I might even stay with Todd for a few days because he's right in the Med Center, and that's where we're opening our office. So might crash and stay with him. Wonder why Gypsy don't take care of Parker. Well, because it's very evident. Hey, Dreamer. It's very evident. If he doesn't trust her, and I told you guys this a while back, from what I understand, she's not alone with Aurora too much either. Like there's always somebody around, but that ought to tell you right where they're at right now. If he won't even leave his dog with her, then, I think it just, be careful what you wish for. Right, Ken? Because you just might fucking get it, dude. And you got it. And now look where you're at. So it's just sad. It really is sad. I was really hoping for a better outcome. Once she had Aurora. Just got back from Baybrook Mall yesterday, school shopping already. I love Baybrook. Karen, did you see that? Baybrook Mall, that's our mall. So we grew up in Friendswood. Karen and I did. So Baybrook Mall was like our stomping ground growing up. Love Baybrook Mall so much. I still love Baybrook Mall. I love the Galleria, don't get me wrong, but there's just something about walking around Baybrook Mall that is nostalgic for me. Isn't it, Karen? Isn't that funny? Remember when we would go and buy like outfits to go out every night before we'd go to clubbing? We'd be like, we gotta go to the mall and buy a new outfit or a new prom matching panties. Oh my God. Good times, good times. Yeah. Love Baybrook Mall. Now we're school clothes shopping there. Liam wants me to fly him in to go shopping in Houston for school clothes if he goes back to brick and mortar this year. You still working too much? No, I actually had yesterday. I'm from Mont Bellevue, so we have to go that far for shopping. My daughter lives in Mount Bellevue. Did y'all see that? No, I was were you there a couple weeks ago? I've always lived like right there in Clear Lake or Friendswood by Baybrook, so it's just always been my favorite mall. Like the Galleria I love, but it's so big. I usually have to have like a reason I'm going out there. I just love Baybrook Mall. Such a great mall. And it's got everything. They have a cool outside area now. I know, we just left full time last year. And they had built that whole outside section over there, which I thought was really, really cool. And added all those restaurants, which was nice. The outside area is so nice to chill at. Yeah, it is, Brittany. It really is. I love it. I mean, I was a little butthurt about it when they started renovating it because I was like, why are you fucking with my mall? But then they did it and I liked it. So I'm not big on change, but I did like it once it was done. Because the inside of the mall is kind of the same. Even the stores are like the same for the most part in theirs, which I love. So it's really the only mall I'll shop at anymore. And it's worth flying in to go shopping. Gloria's is my favorite restaurant there at the outdoor part. Is it? I haven't been there yet. For the most part, the same. It is, Karen. It is like, I was just talking to somebody about Baybrook. And I worked at Plechette's in that mall for all through high school and a little bit after high school, even middle school, I think. And it's like one of the few stores that's not there anymore. And I just wish but I think she passed away anyways. But I was like, man, if that was there, this mall would be exactly the same. Like when, back in the day. But I'll have to try Gloria's when we come down. Brittany, I haven't been over there. Dang it, it's so cold in this house. I got all the air off and everything. It's like 2 degrees in here. But yeah, Karen, I'll text you because I was thinking like maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday or something like that. Just over the weekend at least, so we could hang out and spend some time together. I know you work during the week, and I got to work during the week while I'm there too. So Sergeant put up a GoFund. I didn't put it in my Discord, but that's all I could do. Okay, I'll go look at it. I haven't seen the GoFundMe yet, but I'll go look at it. I need to call her today. I was super busy yesterday with Liam, so I couldn't call her yesterday. It was not the greatest day after I got off here yesterday because we had to go get his license, and then he failed the eye exam, and so then we had to go to the eye doctor and all that good kind of shit. So, okay, bye, sweetie. I'll text you later. So I just didn't have a chance yesterday to check. Yeah, well, we found out 2 years ago that he only had 18% vision in his right eye, which is crazy because he's played baseball. And at Karen Michelle, you guys dating? Me and Karen? Land 1991. Are you asking if me and Karen are dating? I hope he does too. No. We've been like super good friends since we were in high school. I was there when her children were born. Well, her son. We've been friends for a very, very long time. We're definitely not dating. I'm married. But if I were to date a woman, she might be one. I'm going to start spreading rumors. Yeah, I hope so, Butterfly, because he was super upset yesterday. So hopefully he'll pass it today. All we have to do is have the optometrist sign off on the paperwork because he kept failing it there. And it's probably because he doesn't wear his glasses and he put them on right before the test. So it is what it is. We'll go get it fixed. Mommy will fix it. I always do. So yeah, but have you guys seen anything else with what's been going on with Gypsy and Ken and all that? I haven't really been watching because there's really nothing to watch because it's just everybody fighting with each other, and I just really hate that bullshit. So how old is he? He's 16. So, and we bought him his dream car for his birthday this year, but I wouldn't let him get his license until his grades were where I wanted them to be. And so I made him finish out his sophomore year so that he could get his grades up to like a B average because he's going to dually enroll this year to get his engineering degree before he graduates high school. And I think a Mustang is a privilege. It's not a requirement for us to give him a Mustang. And he needed to earn the right to drive it. So I just let it sit in the driveway until him acted right. But he did really good and his grades are good. And so I thought, okay, it's time for him to, be able to have some more freedom. And then he failed the eye exam. So, but I'm sure it'll all be fixed today. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's good parenting, or I know he is okay with it because he understands where I'm coming from, but his sister helped buy the car. Me and his sister bought the car together, and it's a privilege to have a car. like that. It's not a requirement at 16, and he needed to earn it. So, if not, you just have some shithead driving around in a Mustang all day. That's what mom's got to do. That's right. That's right. And he wasn't being bad before that. I just have expectations that he needs to live up to, because he's not going to be a child forever. And I want him to understand that, you have to earn things in this life that they just aren't given to you. So, but he's a really good kid. He doesn't run the streets. He doesn't do anything bad. Like I'm very blessed with my kids. Very, very blessed. So it just sucked because he was finally getting it yesterday, and then he failed the eye exam. So I feel like I'm drooling on myself, you guys. Anyways, so Dreamer, I had to reorder the other thing because for some reason it was on back order and it wasn't going to come until like mid-August. So I didn't see the dates on it, but I know the other thing was delivered for the cat, but I just wanted to, I'll get that done so that it's not taking so long. I don't know why it did that. I've never had a problem getting mine sent that fast, like overnight, but maybe it was the kind I picked. I don't know, but I'm glad you got part of it yesterday. So, and I will try Walmart. Do they deliver? Oh my God, you guys, I can't even use my vape. Do they? Okay. Well, I thought about doing Instacart. So maybe I'll do it through Instacart because I think I've delivered through Instacart before. So I'll check with that today, but I'll check Amazon first because I've never had a problem doing overnight with Amazon. I think it was just the kind I picked, or I might have hit the subscribe button. And when you subscribe, then it does it on a certain day every month. So that might have been it too. I haven't looked that deep into it. I just saw the date and I was like, why is the delivery date so far out? And sometimes if you subscribe to things, it'll do that on Amazon. So I'll check it again. I'll do something different. But I know Instacart does because I've delivered that to you before. So sorry about that. You at least got the first half. That took a whole extra week too. I know you can cancel that one. Yeah, I did cancel that one since it was so far out. I canceled it. I probably hit subscribe on it is what I'm thinking. And that's why it was coming so far out. And then it does a monthly, and which is fine. I don't mind even sending it monthly, but I know we need to get it there now. So I'll look back on there when I get off here today. So what's everybody else doing today? Anything good? Fill me in on what's going on, y'all. Tell me. I used to just sit and watch everything at nighttime, but it's just so foul on here anymore. So foul. Oh, you know what I wanted to talk about? I wanted to talk about, well, first of all, I know that you guys saw, most of y'all, people were messaging me about the autopsy Nolan Wells thing yesterday and how they had mentioned that the United Cajun Navy had found him. And then Todd did the Nancy Grace interview and there was some questions about that. If you go on United Cajun Navy's Facebook page, he's responding to a lot on there. So if you have any questions about that, go onto their Facebook page. I spoke with him yesterday and he was doing some clarification on their page yesterday. So go there. But I do want to talk about, I think I'm going to start talking about the case with the mom who just murdered her 3 kids 2 years ago and ended up a paraplegic because she jumped out the window and she was highly medicated. I found out this morning that her husband is already remarried, which brings me back to Andrea Yates, who lived in the same neighborhood that we did when that happened. She's the mother in Texas that drowned her 5 children in a bathtub. And then her husband, Rusty, that piece of shit, went and got married a year later. Yeah, he's remarried. And Rusty Yates did the same thing. And both of these husbands knew that their wives were mentally unstable. They didn't make sure their children were safe. I want to know why they're not being held culpable as well in the deaths of these children, leaving them in an unsafe environment. Rusty knew. that Andrea wasn't safe. Lindsay, her husband, knew that her children weren't safe. And yet they leave their children alone with these women who are in, I don't give a fuck. What? Hold on a minute. What the fuck are you reporting me? For harassment and bullying. Like, that's just, like, go fuck off. Yeah, like, you guys know, I don't care. Get me knocked down here. It doesn't make me any difference. I have a whole ass life out here. Like, go fuck yourself. Jesus. So anyways, I'm just wondering why these husbands aren't being held culpable as well in the deaths of their children, because they were putting these babies in harm's way with women who were not mentally stable, over medicated, clearly reaching out for help, admitting themselves in the hospitals over and over and over again for their mental health and instability. But yet nothing happens to them. Nothing. Now, if I left one of my children in the hands of a man who abused them knowingly, or essayed them, or anything else, or murdered them, then the whole world would be on my ass calling me a shitty mother, and that I should be held responsible as well. Why aren't these husbands being held responsible in the deaths of their children? I need to understand that. Is there anybody here that can help me understand that? Because I need to understand why. And then they go out and they get remarried. No. They go get remarried. My dad had mental illness. My mother never left him alone. Right. As she shouldn't have, because, just because she loved him, most likely, she knew that you weren't safe. Yeah, a Butterfly, you remember when the Yates case happened? She lived like 2 streets over from us. Her husband, Rusty, actually worked at NASA with my mother-in-law at the time. Well, Mark's mom. So, like, if you really go look at Andrea's case, it was a very, very sad case. And then that POS went and got married within a year. Like, I need to understand. And then Lindsay's husband is remarried within 2 years after all his family was annihilated. And he knew that she was not stable. She was in and out of the hospital. She was in and out of having her medications changed over and over and over. Why would he leave them alone with her? Especially when she told him that the man's voice was telling her to annihilate her family. Do you think I would walk out the door if Mr. Toby had come to me and said, by the way, Jen, I'm hearing voices that say that I should just annihilate my whole family tomorrow. You think I'd go and run errands and leave him alone, or vice versa with my children, and then not expect to be held culpable at all? It's just mind-boggling that these men get to walk away and restart their lives and remarry, and that women would think that that was a good idea, that they would be the type of man that they'd want to marry. I mean, is it just me, y'all, or do you guys get it? Men always get away with stuff. They do. They really do, Jerry. I was listening to her medication regimen that they had her on, like, the 5 months before this happened, and to not admit that she was probably in 100% psychosis for the months up to that. Anybody would be able to see that was the case, much less leave them alone. Tomorrow, CDB opening statements, they only have more drawer. Oh, really? Who says the law is fair? No, it's not fair. It's not fair at all. I just want to know why these spouses get to walk away scot-free, because if it were any other kind of abuse or murder, both of them would be in trouble. They would both be in trouble. We allow and excuse men to be oblivious way too much. I agree, Mama Fox. I agree 100%. And I'm kind of over it. They get these women pregnant back to back to back to back to back. They're going through postpartum, mental health issues, everything else. And then once their whole family's annihilated, they're like, yep, well, I guess I get to go do this again. It just pisses me off. It just pisses me off so bad. It really bothered me with Andrea. I always thought they should have. Unfortunately, I stayed for 31 years. We divorced and you remarried in a year. They always do, Terry. They always do. Because there's some woman out there who thinks that they're a big catch and that the first wife is crazy and making everything up. But you know what I mean? Like, sorry, I have hair in my mouth. Why would anybody think that? I mean, I wonder if his wife now is watching this trial like, oh, wow. Maybe he's not all I thought he would be. But why wouldn't he be held liable in the deaths of these children when she told him what she told him, and she told the doctors what she told them? Why is she on trial? You know, Andrea Yates has willingly stayed in a state hospital, and she will never leave. And she's fine with that because she doesn't feel like she should leave. But she was obviously very ill when she did what she did. Not that I'm condoning what she did to her children, but do I believe that she was in complete psychosis when it happened? 100%. Mothers just don't annihilate all five of their children for no damn reason, you know, especially when she was in and out of hospitals. And the doctor told Rusty, do not get her pregnant again because she is not okay. And what did he do? He moved her into a fucking bus and got her pregnant again. I mean, that man, he's going to get his one day. But I think that Lindsay's husband he's just another Rusty Yates, if you ask me. And here she is on trial fighting for her life. Again, I'm not condoning what she did to her children. I don't think that in her right state of mind, she would have ever done anything like that, obviously. But I just don't think he should be out here doing interviews and speaking on her at all. Shame on him. And don't let me find that new wife of his on here doing any comments or interviews. I swear to God. I'm just aggravated about the whole thing after I've been watching the trial. And I think we need to talk about these kind of cases more, you know, because I think that we should have been talking about them a lot more when Andrea, but you know, we didn't have the social media like we have now. She had issues and was left to homeschool because in the Yates case, she had issues. Yeah. And she was in and out of the hospital a lot. Hey, Crystal, how are you? I know I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, hon? Yeah, and she was in and out of the hospital a lot. The doctors told Rusty that she was in no place to be having any more children. Good. I'm glad, Crystal. That's all you can do, sweetie, with everything you've been through. And I'm sorry you had to go through it again with those horrible people on this internet. Yeah, I think that we need to start talking about this more. And I think that when men continue to impregnate women and know that they are not mentally stable or stable at all and are having these kind of issues, that they should be held just as culpable when things happen like this as their wives, even more so, because they are in their right mind. And here we've got these women just living in psychosis, and then we wonder why they snap. You know, I think it's just awful. If you guys aren't watching the Lindsay's trial right now, you should. You should definitely watch it. I made a backup Crystal Lake. Follow me there. It's my piece. Okay, I will. Friend me from it. Terry, I agree. I mean, the medication changes that they had Lindsay on, there's no way that she wouldn't have been thrown into psychosis. There's just no way. It was so abrupt. You can't just change everybody's medications like every 2 weeks. Most of these pharmaceuticals are build-up medications. They build up in your system and they start to work more and more over time. So when you have doctors just continuously, rapidly changing your prescriptions and your medication, it's going to do what it did to her. I have been watching that case. It is so sad. It is so sad. And for the doctors to do, and yeah, way over medicate, 100%, especially with this medications they were giving her, were not safe to keep continually changing and so rapidly. It's not safe for her at all. So I think that those are cases worth talking about right now. I'm so over Gypsy. Like, You can't, I heard she was on she was on a lot of different antipsychotics, Valium, just you name it, they had her on it. And it's very sad. Shame on the doctors. I think that doctors should be held liable when they do things like this. Her husband definitely should be. Sorry. I have somebody in my neighborhood who's trying to rehome a Burmese mountain dog. And you guys know I want that dog so bad, but I think Dexter would lose his mind. Andrea looked like a zombie. Oh, she did. She 100% did. Andrea just broke my heart when that happened. Just broke my heart. And that piece of husband of hers, ugh. I can't get him. Is anybody? No, he's already remarried, Crystal. It's 2.5 years out, and he's already got himself a new wife. I almost feel like these men purposely leave, like they're waiting for the ball to drop so they have a way out. I almost feel like that I don't know why that's what I feel. I didn't know Andrea's husband did say, oh yeah, Rusty was remarried within a year. Really fast. Really, really fast. That POS. Sorry, the girl's texting me right now about that. Want him so bad. He's so beautiful. My husband would pack up and leave. No, he wouldn't, but he would not be happy if I brought another animal, much less a Burmese mountain dog. But I want him. And then Dexter would eat it alive, even though he's only 3 pounds. He would terrorize that poor baby. No, both their husbands remarried. And it's horrible. I feel like in my gut, like, I almost like they knew it was going to happen. So he'll get over it. I like the way you think, Dreamer. He always does get over it. That man lets me do anything I want. He don't even ask. Like my husband's, I was telling Cherry this morning, my husband's happy if he can stop by and grab a pack of cigs and a big gulp every morning. Like that's his life. He don't give a shit what I do, what I buy, like he just doesn't care. He's just like, whatever makes me happy. He's like, go ahead and do it. I don't care. I'm very lucky that way. But I do know that if I brought home another animal, he'd probably have a nervous breakdown. He doesn't ask me for much, but dogs are never a bad idea. Kramer is a mess, but also my peace. Look, I have my little Dexter, who's the meanest dog on earth. And then we have Jasper, who's the dumbest dog. They're both Yorkies and they're nightmares. And they're old. And I keep thinking, I'll just keep them because they're going to pass away eventually. And then I won't have to worry about dogs because my cats travel with me. But the dogs can't because they don't act right. So I don't know. I'm not sure. He's only 5 and he's big. Your neighbors are terrified of Kramer. Are they really? Everybody's terrified of Dexter, so I get it. And he hates everybody, so they have every right to be terrified. But he lives right in the neighborhood, and I've always wanted one. But they're like, 180 pounds, the Burmese mountain dogs are. They're big dogs. I want him so bad. I just don't think my backyard isn't fenced in. So that means I'd have to walk him and it's hot outside. I have a standard poodle who thinks everyone is his best friend. Do you, Terry? Aw. I love that for you. I've never had that kind of dog. I don't do dog. I can't stand untrained dog and I don't have time to train. Yeah, I that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, and so this Burmese mountain dog doesn't like children either. So the girl who took him, he nipped her 6-year-old in the face. He does not like children, which I don't have children around here really. I do have grandchildren, but they're not here very often. So I don't think that'd be a problem. But if he bit somebody at that size, it would be not a good thing. So I don't know if I want to take on that kind of responsibility either because Dexter bites everybody. Everybody. My cat loves everyone. Oh. And many people have had to get stitches because of Dexter before. Poor Katrina literally has been ripped apart by him. More times than I can count. To the point, if we report it to the hospital or the sheriffs, they'll put him down. So. Oh, that's the AI summary. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it, but really not Does that make sense? My kitten, so are mine. I know. I love that kitten that you got. They're so beautiful. I want another kitten. I want an orange male. And I think Chad would be better with that than a 200-pound Burmese mountain dog. So, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it's named Bones.
I know. I love that. I love that so much. It's so cute. Does he like that?
He's not a very bright cat.
No, I mean, does Bones like that you named the...
Oh, yeah. Well, I said it as a joke, but my followers, they loved it. Hence, he got named Bones.
That's so cute. I love that you found a cow one.
And my other cats, Lovebug got her name because she's a love bug. She loves everybody.
Oh.
And Diamond got her name because if that's my crafting buddy. If I'm at my craft table and I'm doing diamond painting, there she is, laying by my feet. But she's a very independent cat.
Mhm.
Only time I see her during the day is when she comes out to eat, use the cat box, and then she hides, and I might see her at night.
Oh, really? So she's not real social?
No. She's social on her time. It's like when I go to bed, she'll hop up on the bed demanding that I pet her and get her love. And she picks the wrong day and time for it.
Oh, that's what mine do. And when I'm asleep, they're like all over my head and all over my chest, and they just love.
But that's how Bones is. If I'm on the couch watching TikTok, I'm often just like kind of laying back, relaxing, and he'll come up and lay on my neck. Now, I wasn't sure what sex he was when I first got him because he was so little.
Yeah.
Some of my fathers thought it was a female, some thought it was male, but I can tell now it's a Tom.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
You're not getting it fixed yet, are you? You're gonna wait until he's older.
Yeah, I won't have him fixed till he's 6 months old.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Then I'll definitely get him fixed. But you never know. Years ago, I had this cat. I called her the hussy because she'd be there all day, all night when we went to bed, but yet she would have kittens. We never could figure out how she was escaping the house, going out, doing the coming back. And she had 2 kittens that were off to the side. The one I could say, it didn't even have a sucking motion. But little guy, he did. Well, he grew up. He saw Mama with her kittens. Mama would nurse the kittens. Jump out. It was little guy, my Tom. He'd hop in there. And you know how Mama cleans them so they go when they're first born?
Yeah.
He would be doing that.
Oh.
She was a horrible mother. All she'd do was nurse him. She'd hop out and he'd hop in.
Oh, really?
And when they got old enough where they were running around the living room, she went to swipe one of her kittens, and he came unglued.
Oh, really? He was real protective.
Yeah. And do you know what? The cats I have now, they're senior cats. They came to me, thank God they were fixed. Because when you got a female cat having kittens, trying to get him in between kittens to get fixed is almost impossible.
Yeah. That is true. Come here. Come here. Speaking of, my big fat Jack is trying to come over here, so I'll pick him up. Come here. He is 38 pounds. He's a panther.
Oh my God, he's so fat.
I know, I'm 38 pounds. He was a little
How'd you get us so
girl.
fat? I want my cat's fat.
We thought he was a little girl when I first got him, so we named him Little Black Girl because we couldn't think of a name. And then we found out he was a boy, and then he became Jack because he's a panther. He's Panther Jack. That's what it means. He would sit up here with me all day. He loves his mamas.
Now, the kitten I have now, my friend had the brother, but the one dog got along with it, but I guess their other dogs didn't. So she brought it over to me, and I said, I can't have 4 cats.
Mm-hmm.
But she could keep it here, but you try to find it at home. Well, I tried to find home. So we put ads, and we found it at home.
Oh, did you? Oh, the little one's Bones'
There's no way I
sister?
could do 4 cats.
Yeah, Bones' sibling. Is that the one you're talking about?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good idea. I mean, you know, you don't want to get overloaded either. You know?
No, I don't want to be a case study.
Case study. Why? Does he have a lot of cats?
7.
Seven.
More
My
than-
daughter's got 7.
Well, he
Lola.
has more cats than you're legally allowed to have
Oh,
in his
really?
area.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you walk in my daughter's condo and you would never even know she has a cat, but they spend so much money on those cats. Like they are so well taken care of. They just they can't say no.
Oh yeah, my litter box, because I get it off of TikTok. It is powder, and you put like a teaspoon into your cat litter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to help keep down like the smell. But my cats are funny because I scoop normally,
Hold on.
but they will sit there and watch me scoop before they'll go to use it.
Sorry about that. It was one of my employees texting. Feels like she needs
Because
texting.
they're just very funny about their cat box. They want it clean, and they would, even when I go to clean the cat box, because when I clean it, I wash it.
Yeah.
Because it's metal. Even though it's metal, I wash it and then I dry it. They'll sit there and watch me do all this, put new cat litter in it before they'll hop in.
Yeah.
They will hold it and then hop in.
My cats, I keep dog pads around because my dogs don't go outside, but they wear diapers in case they have to poo. And my cats will poo on the dog pads, if their cat box is not up to par. Like
So your dogs are pad trained?
Yeah, they have to be. Well, because I don't have a fenced-in backyard here. So when I brought them from Houston, which we had a huge fenced-in backyard there, but here they'll just run in there because they're stupid. So they just run. So I can't let them outside, and I don't have the time to walk them all the time.
Well, especially if you got one, that it will bite, because then they could be legally a liability.
I've already been ripped in half like twice by dogs. Like the last time my daughter passed away, her pit bull ripped him in half. His whole insides were hanging out. It cost us $10,000 to get his body put back together. And he will still go after big dogs because he's an idiot. He was ripped in half twice in his life so far because he goes after the big dogs.
Some about little dogs. It was years ago. I went to the pound and I was going to adopt a dog. And they had this little Chihuahua and it had surgery. And what they were telling me, it tried to attack a bigger dog. But I tell people about Yorkies. I tell them that they got hearts of lions.
They do.
They're not afraid of anything. Nothing. I had one. It loved all cats, but it hated all dogs.
Yeah. Same.
Go figure.
Yeah, same with these two. And Jasper's not as bad, but Dexter will go after a big dog, even though he's almost died twice. He doesn't care because he's ignorant. But that's why if I take him on a walk, he will literally choke himself out to get to another dog. So I just
yeah. I mean, and I took that Yorkie to a lake, and a person had a lab. He thought he was going to try to take this lab on to try to attack the lab. And he was lucky because the lab looked down at him and like, what do you think you're doing?
Yeah.
And I grabbed him. I says, that dog eats you for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
They thought it was funny to see this little dog trying to attack his dog, and his dog are just looking down on him like, what do you think you're doing?
Yeah, they are just Yorkies are the worst. Katrina, my friend Katrina's, she had a little Yorkie that was 4 pounds too, and she passed away as well because she went after a pit bull and it ended up taking her life. But they just don't have any fear. They're just, I don't know if they're too inbred or they're just that ignorant. I don't know, but they all do it for some reason. So
well, my bio father always told me, he says, when it comes to dogs fighting, a bigger dog will let you know. He says, they ain't the ones you need to be worried about. He says, just those small ones, because they'll act real friendly, and then boom.
That's Dexter. You can be petting him. And that's what I was saying. Katrina's been ripped over by him so many times because she loves him so much. She'll pet him and he will attack her to the point where the last time we couldn't get his jaws off of her hand. Like and she just froze. And I was like beating the hell out of Dexter to get him to just release his grip. He ripped up her arm and hand.
Why do you keep him when he's attacking his own owner?
So the way I got him, he went through 7 rescues and they finally called me and they're like, Jen, can you hold him? And, if he bites you, though, we're going to have to put him down. Well, he was just a year old then. So, because he kept biting all the rescuers. So I was like, yeah, I'll take him. So he bit Lola the first day we brought him home. I didn't tell him. So they wanted to pick him up and put him down. And I was like, he's a healthy dog. I don't want you just to put this puppy down. Let me see if I can get him. Well, then I got attached to the little asshole. So now I have a rule. If you come in my house, this is Dexter's house. Don't fucking touch him. If you leave him alone, he'll leave you alone. Like, he just won't come and bite you. But if you pet him, he's going to bite you. If you put your feet by his face, he's going to bite them. But this is his safe place. So I tell everybody, don't fuck with him. Do not touch him and he won't bother you. And that's worked for the most part. But there's always one. And Katrina just loved him so much. She always wanted to pet him. But everybody who comes here, they're like, no, I got this. I'm a dog whisperer. And I'm like, no, you're not. Because he's going to rip your face off. And
Well, I knew somebody who had a pet bull, and they were amazed that this pet bull liked me and it wanted to play and everything else. They said, how you do that? I says, because I respected its space. I didn't try to pet it. I did anything. I says, of course, I had a little help because I sort of bribed him with treats.
Yeah.
And it still took me 6 months. Another friend said, how'd you get that dog to accept you? I says, I didn't.
Yeah.
I said, just sit there. I let the dog come to me.
Yeah. And Dexter won't bite me. Like, he's never bit me. He sleeps on my feet, but I won't let him up on my face because I'm scared that if I move wrong, he'll flip out and bite me. But he's never bit me. He's fine with me. But anybody else, like, he'll rip them wide open. So I just have to, like,
You come tomorrow?
watch him.
No, it's Thursday.
Hold on, I just got another text.
Thursday.
Oh, okay. I'll see you Tuesday then.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you know what? I love dogs,
Sorry about that.
but I won't own an untrained dog.
No, I
The
don't
last dog that I had was in San Diego, fully trained, and some I invented myself. Like she would eat breakfast, then she'd go out of our room because we managed a place. She'd go into the main house looking for the tennis room to see if anybody had their door open. I says, if you get tired, just tell her go home. She knows what it means. But to give you an example, my boyfriend decided to take her for a walk, and he took the leash off of her. She saw home. She went to run across the street. Cars are braking. The dog is panicking. And I just hollered, halt. And when I did, she stopped, she sat, and I was able to go out and get her. Of course, I chewed him out. I says, why'd you let her off the leash when she's so close to home? Because you know she's going to take off towards home. Mm-hmm. I can't there. And my mom had a dog when I first came to take care of her, little Shih Tzu. I hated that dog with a passion. She hated me. And she didn't have no teeth. She tried to bite me a couple of times, but she didn't have no teeth. She was an old dog.
Yeah.
And but she knew that my mom could no longer get up to feed her. Mm. So she would come looking for me in the morning to let me know I want my food.
Yeah.
And the day that it happened, she was not a barker. In all the years that my mom had her, I think I heard her bark once. So when she was in my mom's bathroom barking, I went running in there. She had collapsed. Oh. And I rushed her to the vet. And I told Mom, I says, I don't know if I'll bring her back. And I took her to the vet. They examined her. They see if she could get her to stand. And her little leg was just wobbling. And they said, no. And so they said, yeah, we'll do it. But I says, can you? I promised my mom. So they did let me. I held Maggie in my arms while they did the procedure. Okay. And I was really, really shocked at just how quickly it was. Yeah. And how smoothly and pain-free it was. I mean, she got 2 shots. One, a sedation shot to sedate her. And then a few minutes later, they gave her the second shot. And I'm waiting for her to show respiratory distress, something. They go, oh, she's gone.
Yeah.
It took 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's very fast. Thank God. Thank God. I've had to hold a couple of my animals too. It's just, it was horrible.
Well, I've had animals put down, but I didn't hold them, so I didn't actually witness it.
Yeah.
With Maggie, I held her in my arms. Plus, I says, well, what do you do with their body? And up here, they had a contract with a pet cemetery. So she was cremated, and they take their ashes down to that cemetery. They cremated her, put her ashes somewhere down there. Plus, they gave my mom a paw print. And I didn't want to get her another dog 'cause I just don't have the time to train a dog. And if I cannot deal with an untrained dog.
I don't know.
Well,
what
with a
that means
cat,
for the
you give
run.
them food, you clean the cat litter, you're good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, they are a lot easier.
They're generally more independent. I say generally because mine are not independent.
Sparkle. Yeah. How is your mom doing?
Well, she's on hospice still,
Those are my TikTok purses.
but she's fine.
Is she? Oh, she's in the hospital?
Mm-mm.
Oh. Oh, you said hospice.
Hospice.
Okay. Okay.
We've had her on
sorry,
hospice
I
for over a
misheard.
year.
Yeah, no, I knew that. I just misheard you. I'm sorry. Okay, but she's doing all right. How are you doing?
Okay.
Okay. We were just talking about you this morning. I was talking about Eva Cherry, and I was like, I have so much respect for Dreamer because we've done the 24-hour care with both of our parents, and it's hard. It's really hard work. And I said, she's really, really doing a lot there. And I said, I don't think we check in on her as much as we probably should, because you do
Well,
so
you
much.
see, one of the reasons we put her on hospice, all her doctors dropped her like a hot potato. I had begged them to take her back.
Mhm.
Again, she pulled her stunt. This is when she was alert, refused to go. And so they don't want nothing to do with her. Then she went to nursing home for about 6 weeks for rehab. They send her home. They were sending therapists out here. They dropped her for noncompliance. And that's when they brought up the idea of hospice.
Right. Right. Well, she's been
If
on a
she
year.
was in hospice, she'd have no doctors because they don't want her.
Is she just
They
on
literally
her?
dropped her.
Oh. Well, good. Now she gets to be at home with you, and she's well taken care of. And as long as y'all are fine, then it worked out, right?
Yeah, it was only during that time. The one time I actually went live, I took my followers with me because my aunt bought me a ticket for the show up here. See, I live in a very gated community and it's big. It's 40 miles from one end to the next between the two main gates.
Yeah.
We got lakes, we got trails, golf course, and we have a center up here which has a theater for like live theater.
Yeah.
And so I was able to get a ticket for me and my friend, and we went. That was one time in the 4 years I've been taking care of my mom. One time.
Yeah. Wow. Do you ever do any respite to where you get a few days off and they can take her to hospice house and just take care of
Well,
her
that's
for a
when
few
I did
days?
it. She was in respite.
Yeah, you should do that every once in a while. You really should. It's okay to do that. It gives you it
Nah,
kind of rejuvenates you.
nah. Because 1, 2 days I'm okay. But when you do it, you're committed for 5 days.
Do you
5
have to
days
do
is too
5 days
long for
there?
me.
You have to do 5 days there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here you can do it 3 to 5. So, or I think up to 7, to be honest with you, but the minimum is 3 in Florida. So,
Well, up here it's 5.
well,
That's
that's
what I was told.
yeah.
And 5 days is just too long for me.
Yeah, that is a long time. I agree to have her out of your care, but you should ask them if they've got the 3-day one. Dreamer. I mean, it might be good for you just to have a few days off, and rejuvenate yourself. We can send you and get you a spa day or something.
Oh, no, it's too much trouble. The Hoyer lift and everything, getting her out of that bed. And the ambulance can't get the thing in her room. It's a mess.
Yeah. Oh, for
So
them
you
to
got to put her in
come.
the Hoyer, drag her out here in the living room with the Hoyer to get her on the thing. No,
Oh, is it
ain't worth
really
it.
hard? Yeah, that does sound like a lot. I know it's a lot taking care of somebody on hospice for 24 hours. I mean, I do it for a living and I've done it for my own mother and so has Chad. And it wears you down. It really does being a 24-hour caregiver. Happy Thursday, user 9901. I love that they keep their name that. Just like no picture, just user. Yeah, it's a lot. So it's okay if you ever just need a little break. That's all I'm saying. But I have a lot
And
of
now I'm
respect.
waiting on my new card because all my money goes on a debit card
Right.
and it cracked.
Oh no.
So I had to order a new one.
Is it how long till it's good? Can you still use your old one?
No. The minute I reported it damaged. They ordered a new one, and they said, "Now that card will not be any good." It's
Is there anything
we
that
just
you
we
need?
deactivated it. When you get your new card in, you call, you activate it. Any money you had on that card and stuff will automatically go to the new card.
Is there anything that you need until it gets there that I can add to the cat litter? If there
No,
is, let me know.
right now I just need the cat litter.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you think of
Badly.
anything, I don't mind adding it because I'm just going to change it. Like I said, I think I hit subscribe. I think that's why it was going to be so far out.
Yeah, you got to be careful because sometimes it says subscribe.
Yeah.
And Amazon, even though they say, "Oh well, Prime," I stopped paying for Prime, and I told them, "Why do I want to pay for Prime when it still takes you 4 or 5 days?"
Yeah. Well,
With
yours,
Walmart-
anytime I send to you, it always takes, even if it says next day, it always takes them a week to get out to you. I don't know why, but it does.
No, it's because where we're at.
Yeah.
If I send a package from here to California, it'll take 5 to 10 days.
Does it? Yeah.
Yeah, but when I order my groceries, I go to Walmart because they deliver,
Mhm.
and because that's normally where I go get my cat litter and cat food and my groceries and stuff,
Yeah.
and they deliver it right to the house.
Then I'll do it from Walmart if you want me to, if it's easier. I don't mind. I didn't know that Walmart delivered. I haven't shopped at Walmart in years. So if they deliver in your area, I'll definitely do the Walmart.
Oh yeah, because see what it is, the way we got it set up, I pay for the cable and stuff here
Mm-hmm.
and groceries, but my mom pays 2 weeks of the groceries, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when she had to have somebody legally control over her money, I can't do it because the way I get my money,
Right.
it would be bad for me. So we have my aunt doing it. She's legally responsible.
Oh, that's
So she won't, like she ordered the groceries put in. She just won't get me cat food or cat litter.
okay. Okay. Well, as long as you got all that, I definitely don't mind helping with the cat food and cat litter. And did you say that you got 4 bags?
Yeah, I got 4 bags of. Hold on,
How big were they?
they're small bags.
I wonder if because I ordered a big bag. I wonder if they substituted it with 4 small bags.
I think that's probably what happened because they're oh, come on, surely you'd say how big you are.
On the bottom, it should say how many pounds.
It's wrinkled here on this one. I can't. They're 3 pounds.
3 pounds.
Yeah, and there's one. I'm sorry. There's 3 bags.
3 but that's only 12 pounds. I ordered
That's
like
enough to last
20-pound
them till
bag.
payday.
Well, yeah, I'll still put in for a big bag. That should have been because I ordered like an 18 or 20-pound bag of Meow Mix, like the big bag. You know what I mean? Like, so I thought, well, maybe when you said 4 bags, that they substitute. I don't know. I'll go look. Sergeant Major, how are you? I just told Dreamer I was gonna give you a shout today and see how you guys were. Just about to call you. She just told me what was going on.
Okay,
And so-
Sergeant. You know what? My phone, honey,
She's coming up.
is
How are my girls?
How are you?
If it wasn't for the Lindas, and I know people are going to be like ugly about this, but for the Sheenas, I don't know people. Sometimes people label people, but I got a good support team with my TikTok family and family and stuff. Gary totally coded. Did you hear about that? He totally coded.
hold on, I got the scammer.
All right. Yeah, she had told me that they had just brought him home by ambulance.
Ambulatory. You guys are gonna make me cry. You guys are gonna be I guess, the first to know except for family, but Gary's not doing good. We're going to end up losing him. And
Oh, honey,
if I don't want to cry, don't make me cry, people. Just keep me updated or planted. We knew this was coming, and so the family and I were just going to regroup. It's now crossed what they call the blood-brain barrier.
Right.
And I'm just so mad at the whole thing. Just angry. And it's just not me. I don't want people to think this is a pity party about only me. Our vets are freaking dying, people, for stupid shit. And
No.
and if we could have, like my sweet Linda said, if they would have done their due diligence at the VA, this wouldn't crash as much as it did.
Yeah, because then they'd have to admit to what they were doing to our soldiers over there. If they did their due fucking diligence, they'd have to admit, instead of 20 years from now, you'll get a letter like my mother did, like, oh, sorry about that Agent Orange we sprayed all over your husband. Oops, and that's what'll happen. And it's fucking bullshit that you're going through this and that they're not
Sergeant,
handling.
I saw your post and your GoFundMe thing. I wish I could help you that way. I couldn't, but I did do it. And I wait, listen to me. I did put it in my Discord.
I know.
Yeah.
I have a Discord. I put it in my Discord. So there's no moderator that can remove it. The only one who can move it is me.
Yeah, we just got it this morning, and I'm going to share it with some other people who I know are donators so that we can help on there too. Because I wish, and I know you didn't never want to do that, but I'm glad that you did it. It is okay to ask for help in times like this. This is the time where people don't know how to help, but they want to help, and it's okay for you.
I think what I would want people to do and take back is, if you're going to say, that's one thing I love about Linda. I love her spiciness. I just love how she's real. I love how when she friends you, it's just not a minute little thing. It's down deep. I'm sorry. My dog is talking. But what I'm saying is that if you're going to say you support our vets, and if you're going to say this about when you say thank you for your service, not just our family, stand up. Right now, there is a bolo out on Gary's best friend. He watched Gary code and he's missing.
Oh no.
And I have a question on that, if you don't mind me asking. It says, okay, he's married.
Yes, to Roberta, 26 years. Yes, ma'am. Yep.
Okay, but they don't live together?
Okay, here we go. Okay, everybody just sit down, don't say nothing, So when you're a caregiver, when you watch your husband literally be stripped of who they are, and in the, I don't know how to explain it. She took as much as she could. She had to step away. Doesn't mean Roberta doesn't love him. I love my husband, and Linda, I've gotten to that point. But she took a step back because fighting the VA for his disability, fighting for, everything, being the sole person, it takes a toll on you.
Absolutely.
So yes, she stepped away for 3 months because of all the craziness. And I get it. If anybody gets it, I get it. So he was with us and staying with us because this man is almost 5'10" and weighs under 120.
Is this the person that was helping you that's missing?
The one that when Gary tried to unalive himself.
Yes. So he's the one that came to help you on the farm.
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh, it's him.
Yes. So when he was here, it was we looked at death in the eyes that day. So when he was here, they think it snapped, triggered with everything else that he was going. So he's been missing since Gary coded. He's been missing since that day.
Wow.
Let me ask you something. Does he work?
No, he's disabled.
Yeah, he's disabled. He was helping on the phone.
I guess I'm confused because the person that I thought came down was one of your former foster kids who was a firefighter.
You're getting 2 stories combined. Devin right now is being certified to be Gary's caregiver.
Okay.
He came down from Oregon. James was here when Gary tried to unalive himself.
Right.
James was here.
Okay, so these are two separate
Two
people.
separate people. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
I get it now.
Yeah. So James is the one missing. James is the one that's, gone, I guess you'd say. So I talked to the police. I put all that on my TikTok and, to let people, because some reason, and my friend Chris that's on here, people think that I'm doing this for attention or I'm doing things. No, James is really missing. And I put the police up there to say it. He is really missing. You know what I mean? And, so anyway, I'm not going to commandeer your thing.
You're fine. You're fine. I was just, I just got a message and I'm looking on my computer.
Uh,
So what?
Sergeant, I
is he in the
understand your
area?
concern for him,
Mhm.
but right now,
Yeah.
you have to think about you and your husband. You two need to come first. You did what you could. You put out a report. That's all you can do.
I know. He's
Because
still
the
my
fact that he
brother.
went and took all the money, all of it, out of the account,
Yeah.
it sounds like to me he was been planning this. He took the money and he probably doesn't want to be found.
Yeah, maybe not. So he emptied out his account too.
Yeah, I don't think he took the money out because he wants to unalive himself. Because if that were the case, he wouldn't have took it all out. He would have took enough to go wherever he's going to go do it. So
Yeah,
I don't think that's the issue.
He might just
I think-
be self-medicating or hiding out, getting
There it is.
himself.
There it is. There it is. That's
Yeah.
what we're praying for.
Yeah.
That he is just doing that. I'm not gonna right now. I just want people to see the other side. Yes, did Roberta move herself from the situation? Yes. But when he was here, Roberta had a major heart attack. She's just now getting out of the hospital. So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. He had that going, Gary going, and his own health going. I think it was just too much. And he's either like Jen said, that he's self-medicating, hiding out. We don't know. But it's now on Louisiana. They're now posting it on the news. We don't know. He is a person that they think that could be in danger, you know what I mean? Or whatever. So,
Well, there's another thing that could be. He was there when your husband coded.
yes,
He
ma'am.
and he was staying with you. He may feel like he's a burden at this point, that you got a lot going on, and with him there, it's not a
No.
good thing because he'd be a burden. And rather than argue with you, he just went and took the money and he left.
No, James would never, ever,
Sounds
ever
like he's
do this.
some
He would
time.
never do this, Roberta. He would never do this to. They had a lot on their plate, and that's what we have to just understand. With these combat PTS people, they don't do well with triggers. They don't. And James, I thought it was unusual, but I thought, okay, he's sidestepping the hospital because he just got out of the hospital himself. And so, but then he wasn't by Gary's bed, in the IC. So I'm thinking, what's going on? And I knew Roberta was in the hospital because she had a heart attack with everything. This is what happens to caregivers. Like you, Jen, you're a caregiver. But anyway, what I'm trying to ramble and be stupid about right now, he is missing, period. And no, am I concentrating just on him? No, because my plate is full. We are trying to get a heart monitor. They have to put Gary on a heart monitor and some other things. We're waiting for medical equipment to get here. But what I'm saying is, I don't really want to talk anymore about Gary and all of this. What I want people to see is the realism. What it does to families. We just had to tell our grandkids. You know what I mean? It's just stupid. This whole thing is stupid, and the government knew about it. So I'm going to get off your platform. Because
You're okay.
Well,
You
Sergeant,
don't
you know
have to
that I
say
love
that.
you.
I know
And where
you-
you're at right now,
Yeah.
believe me, I was in the exact same place that you are in right now when my husband was alive and was sick
Horrid.
and passing. I was exactly where you are at.
He shouldn't be passing, and that's
No.
what I'm angry about.
Exactly.
I know.
I agree 100%. I watched my mother go through the same thing you're going through. This should not be happening. It should
No.
not be happening.
Well, with my
over and
husband,
over.
it wasn't the pets or anything.
Right, right. It was still
He
an
just got he got lung cancer, and they were shocked because this particular lung cancer that he got usually hits women and non-smokers,
Are you sure?
and that's what it surprised him because he had been a former smoker.
Yeah, it's just like I said, I'm not on here, and the mood I'm in, people say I'm changing. I've got the more of this fuck you kind of attitude. I'm not asking for anybody's pity. If you really knew us, then you really know us. This has been a journey, and what I'm most pissed off about is the VA. Like Linda said, our daughter said, like our family, they could have stopped most of this from being the way it is now if they would have done their due diligence and diagnosed him or acknowledged what he had. But they didn't. They waited until it was unfixable. That it can't be reversed. It's on them. His deaths will be on them. And that's all I'm going to say. And every other veteran that has lost their lives. Every other veteran. And it's stupid. And it's wrong.
It is.
It's so freaking wrong.
I'm so
So
sorry.
anyway, no, you can't be sorry. And I'm not here to try to take away your
I know,
platform.
but I am. I'm sorry you're going through this. I'm sorry he's going through this. I'm sorry so many other veterans are going through this. You know, this is this was done to them. This isn't something that just happened. This was done to them by our own government, and now they're sitting back and not helping them because they're sick because of what the government did to them. Again, you know what I mean? Again, we're watching a whole nother generation go through an Agent Orange
Exactly.
situation and they're not doing anything to help them, and it's not okay. It's not
Well,
okay.
Sergeant, you know something, honey?
What?
I love you, and you listen to me, and I've told my people this. I follow Bree, I follow them, and I got their back, but I consider them an online friend.
No, don't make me
I
cry.
don't
Linda, I'm
associate with
sorry.
them. I don't talk to them outside of TikTok.
I know.
The only ones I've ever talked to outside of TikTok is you and Nick and Jen. Okay? I
I know.
consider you a special person to me.
She is special.
Sergeant, I consider you a best friend.
I love you, girl. You know what I think of you. Somebody asked me, you know, when Gary, and that's just the win. And I just want to have a miracle. I don't know if I'm not being selfish, you all, but even if we lose this battle, they're saying like he can literally die right now. And that's not even exaggeration. His heart's so freaking wonky right now, people. But I'm going to continue to fight. This isn't over just if they take my husband's life. I'm going to be probably the bigger and the badder bitch that I am. I'll probably join the Linda Club. Me and her will just, but you know what I mean? But I want other people. That's why I share my story, not for pity. I don't want anybody's pity. I want you to see the realism. Look at what it does, not only to the veteran, but to the families. To the families, period. We're all destroyed. And
Yeah.
and Friday, when he I'm telling you, I don't even know, I'm a basket case, but Friday when his heart just literally stopped for 28 seconds, my husband was dead. And then he coded 2 more times on the way to the hospital. And I don't know. I'm just not ready, and I'm mad. And anyway, I'm going to give you back your platform. This is not what
this is your platform. This is way more important than the stupid shit we're talking about. That's for sure.
you know. I think if all your 17 and any of your supporters, if you say thank you for your service or you support our veterans, if you find a veteran that is in trouble or their family, then support them. Don't just say the words, support them. I'm not saying financially. Do what Linda does. Linda is like, she is like my phone buddy and she's my best friend. And she listens to me when I'm mad, and she's there when I'm sad, and she's there when I want to give up. And because of the Lindas in this whole thing and my daughter and my family, I can keep going and trying to push through. But I want people to know what we're losing. That's what I want people to put a face on. It's just not a story. It's a family that is destroyed. That's what it is. So I love you guys. I'm going to give you back your platform. But
Kiss his cheek for me. Just let him know that we're praying for him.
I will. But Miss Linda, I will call and terrorize you later on. But keep doing what you're doing. Being an amazing friend. And if anybody have any negative to say about Linda, I'll give you my phone number because she is a real friend.
Yeah.
She is a real friend. And I love you, girl. And you guys, I'm giving back over your platform.
I love you. I'll call you in a little bit. I need to ask you some questions about everything, and I'll call you in just a little bit, or I'll text you to see when you're available. Okay. I just hate that she's going through this. I just fucking
I
hate
know.
it so much.
Well, she's got some tough decisions she's going to have to make, and I'm not sure she's ready to just yet.
Yeah, I agree.
And I know it's tough because it was tough for me when I got set down by, 15 social workers, doctors, nurses, the whole thing. And I had to make the decision, enough was enough, and just to let him go. And had put him on hospice. And I was told 2 weeks. He lasted 3 days.
Hold on a second. I'm just replying to a text from one of my employees. Hold on one second.
But I was lucky because my husband and I, from the time we found out he was going to pass from the cancer that spread throughout his body, I mean, every organ there was had cancer in there. He had told me, and we discussed what he wanted done.
Did he? So you knew what his wishes were.
Yeah.
That's good. It's really good. It's important to know that with your spouse, like if something happened, what they would want, I think that's super important.
Oh, yeah. We just discussed different scenarios. I said, well, if this were to happen, what do you want me to do? Mm-hmm. So the minute I didn't even let the doctors finish, I said, stop right now. I've heard enough. I don't need to know anything more. Take him off of the experimental medication, put him on comfort care. Go ahead and give him that one pain medication I can't say on here.
Right. Yeah.
Because I didn't know. Girl, I didn't know.
Yeah.
You can never get me to take morphine. Never. I took him in because he was in pain. They went to give him that, which the doctor admitted he shouldn't have given him that because the medication they had him on for experimental, it wouldn't clash. Mm-hmm. But what they didn't tell us, that it could turn him confused. I took a alert husband into the emergency room, came out with a confused one, literally. And At first I thought, oh, it's because there he's a little high, but he stayed confused and never came alert again. I flushed the pain medication down the toilet, but he never became alert again. We had known each other for like 2 to 3 years. We got married, and I lost him 6 weeks later.
Oh, wow.
Well, people get married for different reasons. The reason we had gotten married, decided to make it formal, is so that I could legally make the decisions, because he knew that his daughter had discovered her mother, who had passed away from an asthma attack. When she was 7 years old, she's the one that discovered her mother in the bathroom. And she could not deal with any kind of unliving or anything. And he knew that she couldn't handle it. He knew that she would not be there at the funeral, the whole bit. So that's why we got married. So I had legal authority to make those decisions for him. And it would be taken out of her hands.
Sorry about that. I can still hear you when you were talking. I just had to respond to something because I didn't have an iPhone. So I couldn't on my computer. Well, I hate that both of y'all went through a shit. Sorry, I'm dropping my phone.
But I did put her GoFund in my Discord, because that's my Discord.
Yeah. Sorry, Naomi. I was trying to respond to something. Sorry. Naomi just comes in here and wags her finger at me. Stealth watcher, leave me alone. Yeah, I can you send that to me in the text so that I can I didn't even know she was in here, Amy. She's a little asshole. Can you send that GoFundMe to me because I want to share it with some people that I know will donate and who kind of donate in the background.
Oh yeah, you know what? It's even on my page. I put it on my page because I do edit it.
Oh, okay. We'll
I
look
will
there.
go back in there in the chat and I'll tag you in it.
Why am I getting reported again? What the hell did I do now? I just got reported again. You snuck in. Yeah, I'll look for it on there. And oh God, look, I bruised myself, giving myself Botox, y'all. I'll go look.
Did
on
you
there.
really?
Yeah, I did. I did. I walked in there. My
That's
husband walked in the
scary,
other day, and I
girl.
was like bleeding all over my forehead.
Oh Lord.
Like you? Oh no, you think so, Naomi? I think it's probably somebody who doesn't like me. I've been reported like 4 times on this live for what? I have no idea.
Honey, I'm 69 years old, and you know the way I figure it? Every freaking winkle I have, they're gonna stay there. I earned them.
I used to feel that way until I got Botox done for the first time. And now I'm like, but I did fuck up my lip. So I did my lip 2 days ago, y'all, and I gave myself a lip flip, and now I can't feel my top lip.
Yeah,
so,
but you're younger than me. I think it is ridiculous when I see somebody in their 70s and 80s doing that crap, trying to make themselves look younger than they are, when all it makes them look is ridiculous.
What does?
When I see 80, 70, 80 people,
Well, my mom did it, and she was like 69, 70, and all it did was kind of smooth out her wrinkles, like right here. And that's really all. I think you're thinking of filler. Yeah, I give myself Botox, not filler. I don't do any filler. But filler will make your face look fake. Botox just kind of smooths out, like you don't see any crow's feet. Well, oh, my bunny lines are still showing. You can see them right there, but I hit them too. They just haven't gone away yet. So
it's just like my moles. For each pregnancy I had, I got a mole. I call them my souvenirs.
yeah, Naomi, that's because you just got naturally good skin. So we've already talked about that. I don't. I'm an old, wrinkly Irish woman, so I got to do it. I don't want wrinkles all over my face. Naomi, you could do it. Can I DM you about that? I heard it's cheaper to do yourself. Yeah, you can. I'm actually going to share the link with people who want to do it. And then I'm going to do like a Teams meeting and show everybody how I do it. And if you want to do it that way, then you can. But it's much cheaper.
Nope.
Dreamer said, nope.
You got to use a needle, don't you?
Yeah, but it's super tiny. It's like you don't even.
Oh, no. I don't do no. It's one thing to do needles when I go to a doctor, but I ain't no.
It's like this, like that big. Like it's super, super tiny. I'll show you guys.
I don't care. I ain't doing no needles.
No, you don't feel it though. Trust me, I hate needles. I'm scared to death of them, even getting my blood drawn and stuff. And it took a lot for me to do it the first time. And I was like, oh, well, that didn't hurt so much. You can't even feel it. Here, I'll show you guys how small. This is all I got left. See how tiny it is?
That's a big needle, as far as I'm concerned.
No, it's like not even it's super. It's an eighth of an inch. It's an insulin needle.
Well, I know it's an insulin. I did private duty for a couple of years. When I used to do private duty, I took care of a diabetic patient that I had to, and it was a nurse who actually trained me. I said, is this legal? She says, you couldn't do it in a nursing home. You couldn't do it in a hospital, but this is a home. You fall under like family, but the doctor one time told me, he says, she is in such control. How do you do it? Because we had to keep lowering her insulin till you couldn't get it lower anymore.
Right.
And I says, hey, I give her insulin twice a day, just like you tell me to. But I says, I control her diet.
Yeah. Well, that's the best way to control your diabetes. So.
And I controlled it. Well, just like they told me a few years back, they had a panic because I just went in for a routine test and the doctor wasn't there when I went to get oh, you're not leaving, because my cholesterol was 3 times higher than what it should be. Well, I let them give me the medicine.
Yeah.
I said, okay. I went home. I stopped eating eggs. I don't eat eggs. The oil I buy is no cholesterol. I buy food that's low in cholesterol as much as I possibly can. When I went back for a retest, they took me off the medication and says, we don't need to give it to you. The numbers are great. How'd you do it? I says, diet. I says, I just changed my diet. I says, when you told me that, I went on a crash diet. Well, I was eating nothing but salads. I says, I just changed my diet. That's all. And it wasn't hard. There's very few things I actually had to eliminate. Just eliminating eggs. And don't get me wrong. Once in a while, I'll have them.
Yeah, you should.
But I don't need them on a regular basis. I use oil that's either no cholesterol or low in cholesterol. I buy my dressing that has no cholesterol in it.
That's good. That's good. Because cholesterol is one of the leading killers in women, heart failure, all kinds of shit like that. So watching your cholesterol is super, super.
But because I controlled her diet, they were able to lower her insulin and lower her I ended up giving up the job because it's like the family got too dependent. When they would want her to have a procedure, I heard her say, well, what does Linda say?
Yeah.
The doctors learned they had to go through me, and I said yay or nay.
Right.
And I thought, no. I'm the caretaker. That's supposed to be a family decision, not mine.
Well, sometimes the caretakers know more than the family do. You know, I mean.
No, there was issue between her and her mother. She was there because of responsibility. So I guess I fit the T. They didn't have to be bothered with her, except to pay me my income, and I just kind of took over.
Beautiful with them. You think so,
Oh,
Naomi?
yeah, I got a
can
girl
see.
fired one time. My relief
I can
that
definitely
I trained
see.
to give shots. She wouldn't come, and then I had to stay. And I told her one time, I said, look, I'll work one weekend for you a month, but it has to be a set weekend. She says, no, I can't do that. Da-da-da-da. I says, look, let me explain to you something. I'm not here for you.
Right.
What we didn't know is my boss had come in and they were listening. I says, you're here for me
I'll take it.
so that I can have some time off. And let me tell you something. Contrary to what you think, if they got to make a choice between you and me, they're going to choose me.
Yeah.
She left and they says, you know what? Just be patient. We'll find somebody to replace her. I says, well, no, just go ahead and fire her and I'll work the weekends until you find somebody. They said, okay, go fire her. I called her up and I said, you're fired.
Jesus.
She says, you can't fire me. I says, I just did. If you don't believe me, ask the boss. The boss got on the phone. She says, if Linda says you're fired, you're fired.
Oh, well, there you go.
End of story.
Naomi, you're not diabetic, right? Sorry, I'm still getting up like I don't have my glasses on trying to read. You're not diabetic, are you, sweetie? I mean, I get the little joke. If that was a joke, I get it, but that's one
Oh,
thing.
I wasn't mean about it, Jan. I mean,
Oh,
like
no,
we
no,
said,
no. I was talking. Naomi had put something in.
no,
the
no.
comments.
What I'm
was
saying, I
asking.
wasn't mean about it. Like,
Oh, about firing
if she
her,
went to her doctor's, yeah, I take her to McDonald's. She gets a child's meal with tea with no sugar in it, but she knew that constituted her lunch and her snack.
Yeah, yeah.
She just
Hey,
didn't get a
Justin.
snack that day.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing pretty good. How you guys doing?
Good, good. Just sitting here shooting the shit. What are you up to?
Just about the same. I don't have to work until later, so just kind of kicking it.
Yeah. How's everything going? Good.
Everything's pretty good. Just kind of, getting settled in and just chilling. It's kind of it's really hot during this time of the summer.
Yeah, it is. That's for sure. That's for sure. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's for
How's
sure.
everything with you this morning?
Good, good. I just jumped on earlier just to kind of get updated on what was going on in the universe here today, but
Nothing really.
nothing about.
Yeah, the universe is a very unpredictable place.
It is for sure. You got any news?
Not really. I just read about that case about that 20-year-old that ran out of that. I guess this 13-year-old girl invited a 20-year-old. Apparently she lied about her age to this 20-year-old guy, but apparently this 20-year-old guy / kid has been messaging, I guess, leaving comments for a lot of underagers. But that's nor here. I guess that's just a side note. But apparently her mom found him underneath her bed because I guess she hid him. And as he was leaving the house with his belongings, and she ended up pew-pewing him in the back as he was leaving. So it's a really like razor's edge. Like some people think he fully deserved it. Other people think the mom went too far because he was leaving. He was not a threat. So I mean that's sort of where I'm at. Like while I can understand the sentiment, well, first of all, you got to take into consideration that the girl admitted to the police that she lied about her age,
Right.
and then and she invited him over. He didn't just show up.
Right.
And then he was also leaving, so there was no threat. He didn't even try staying. He like said, you know what, miss, I'm apparently from everything I've researched, I'm leaving, and then he still ended up losing his life over this. So I think
Yeah, but at the same time, I heard about that. You see, this is the thing. At the same time, he had to know that she was underage, because who would somebody of age really be still living with their parents?
Well, I mean, when I was 18 and going to college for the first year, I lived with mine. I mean,
my
you
kids.
said she lied about her age to the police. So, I mean,
Yeah.
you can do with that what you will, I guess.
And I think as a woman, and if we're all honest here, every single one of us has lied when we were younger about how old we were. And if you say you haven't, then you're probably a liar too, still, because all of us have done it. Like, liked an older boy and told him that maybe we were a couple years older than we were, I mean, I think most women have done that. So I don't find it unbelievable that this young woman did that. And, but to shoot or pew somebody in the back when they're walking out the door.
Yeah, he was leaving.
Oh, I don't agree with that.
He was still.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the eyes of the law that's murder, in my opinion.
Maybe because Terry, she was like, "Hey, I still live at home. My mom can't know you're here. She doesn't let me have boys over. Hi, my mom's coming." And he just rolled his ass underneath the bed. And I wish that my mother was still alive, because she would probably tell you a story pretty similar to this. So I think that things like that happen, especially when you're just lying all the way around. And she obviously lied to this young man. Look, I'm not condoning it. I think that people need to start checking IDs, to be honest with you, because that's what happens. But
absolutely. Yeah. And like another thing is like, apparently like her mom, what she said about her mom is like, she knew her mom was a loose cannon. Like basically she warned her daughter, like, if I ever catch a boy here, I'm going to pop one, so I'm not, and she knew that she owned a firearm. She knew that, her mom was again, a loose cannon, and she was, really playing with fire by just, bringing the boy over, not knowing when her mom's coming back or what have you. She probably had a ring cam. She could have had a ring cam, who knows? And then, but again, it's just like, it really goes like, if it were me, it's like I would have. If you really wanted to use the pew, shoot one in the air to send a message. You know what I mean? But like, come back here and see what happens. But to like literally like end the kid's life for leaving. He didn't even do anything. He just barely got there, and he conceded to leave, no problem. Didn't put up a fight, didn't do nothing. And then also you have to take into consideration that the daughter invited him over, knowing her mom was a little unhinged, a little on the edge, for it could have been good reasons or not. But then also the fact, and owning the firearm, and also lying about the age. That part's really going to be difficult, like razor's edge in the court of law. So I mean, they could reduce her to manslaughter. Apparently, I'm reading from what I read that the girl's actual age is 13. Which again is troubling, and there was evidence that the young man or the 20-year-old man was commenting on other underagers' profiles. I'm not sure if that was his taste. I don't know. I don't have enough information, but from what I'm reading, it's just like there's two wrongs in this situation. He shouldn't have been, tinkering around with the youngins, and then the mom just took it a little bit too far. Best thing to do would have been go to the police, get a restraining order, what have you. Even maybe shoot one into the air and make a point to him and be like, "Hey, you come back here, something's going to happen." Give him a warning, but don't just end his life right there. That's a little bit extreme.
Well, I agree with you. I can sympathize. I understand where the mother was coming from. I'm not sure I wouldn't have done the same, but you're right. He was leaving out the door. What you do is you go to the police, you press charges on him, get him arrested, let him do time, go the legal way.
Yeah.
But I also can understand why she did it. I understand her motive, but that doesn't mean she was correct in doing it.
That's correct. I agree.
I agree. I'm going to show you. Somebody in the comments said she was 13. Hey, Karen, 96. Are you? Do you ever use a dreamer? Well, yeah, sometimes we don't just get into like things like that while Dreamer's on here. Somebody had said in the comments earlier, she was 13, but she passed for over 18. I'm going to show you a picture of me, and I was bartending at a club called Numbers in Houston when I was 14 years old. I lied and said I was 18. And I'm sitting on the speaker that the Smiths is about to go on, and Morrissey's standing right next to me, and he was a singer for the Smiths. And I was 14 years old. So yeah, I do believe I'm 5'10". I could easily pass. I mean, I've always been tall. I've always had, like body to my body, I guess. So yeah, I could pass for much older. I was literally working at a nightclub. It's on a Thursday, and I'm gonna show you the picture in just a minute. And it's even dated.
When I was 16, I was 6 feet tall. I hit 6 feet tall at 16 years old. I had a baby face. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I got pulled over by the police a couple of times because they saw my baby face and thought I was not old enough to drive.
Right.
And then when I stepped out of the car, there's like, oh, okay. Then I had the man of a body of a man, but then a face of like more of a little kid.
Yeah.
So it was a little goofy at the time.
I mean, it's easy to do. It really is. And, to pass when you're, you remember, no, do you butterfly? So a 15-year-old in my local dive bar, I was bar back. Exactly. Prison princess. So, I've been working in nightclubs since I had my first job at 12 at McDonald's in Galveston Island because I lied and said I was 16. And the manager knew I wasn't fucking 16, but I
got my
asked for it.
I got my bartender's license when I was 19, but I started out as a banquet server for a place called the Statler Hall in Cornell University, and they ran a bartender's sort of college or scholarship program there. And then if you worked for them for a year under the banquet section, they gave you that scholarship for free. So, and it's one of those unless the liquor authority takes it away from you, it's one of those licenses you never have to renew. So it's pretty nice to have that on hand in case you need something on the weekends or something.
Well, you guys have a good day. I'm going to go ahead and leave. You guys can talk about Gypsy Rose.
Oh, don't worry about it. But I'm glad.
I will tell you this, why you're not seeing her on TikTok is she's just taking a break. Ken and her are very happy. She's a great mom. They're just taking a break
Yeah, can I ask you a quick
from
question?
social media
Why is Ken boarding
to concentrate
Parker?
on family. That is it.
Why is Ken boarding Parker? I'm just curious about that because he said that to Morbid.
Oh, when Morbid did that, you know what? People took that serious. When Morbid did that, because Bones is a personal friend of mine, okay? It was a joke. It was like a jab at the haters.
He's boarding Parker?
About boarding Parker.
That's all it was. Bones had put out a video saying that they had broken up and stuff, when in fact they had. It was a jab.
I wasn't saying that. I was asking about why was he boarding Parker? Like if Gypsy was at home able to watch the dog, why was he boarding the dog instead? I'm just curious about that. If you don't know, it's okay.
They haven't boarded the dog.
Well,
I don't know where you got that idea.
He specifically said this to Morbid, and it wasn't as a joke. And they were actually describing the place of where the dog was boarded. So I was just curious about it. If you don't know, it's perfectly okay.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe they were going somewhere for a few days.
Okay.
I don't get into Gypsy and Ken's itty bitty stuff.
No, I understand. It's okay. I wasn't sure if you knew anything about that. I was just curious. I appreciate it.
And if I did, I probably wouldn't tell you because I am a personal friend of Gypsy's.
No, I understand. That's perfectly okay.
You all have a good day.
All
Yes,
right,
you have a good
bye,
day.
sweetie. Yeah.
I'll let you guys go talk about Gypsy.
You're fine.
We talk about all kinds of stuff. It's not just her.
Yeah. But so yeah, I think that's an interesting case to talk about though, because I mean, should she get off on pew-pewing somebody in the back? I don't know how I feel about that.
At best, I think your best case scenario would be maybe manslaughter, considering. But then again, there's so much that could go either way because the daughter was lying about her age, and he was invited over to the house. He didn't just show up. He didn't come with a weapon. He was no threat to the mom or the daughter. I mean, it's going to be very hard to defend this.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, yeah, mom was overprotective, but there's a line you have to draw with that between being protective and just straight up ending somebody's life and she didn't even really know what was going on. I mean, yeah, it is kind of weird finding a random dude under your daughter's bed who's extremely young, but then again, she didn't even ask, we don't know exactly what kind of conversation took place, if one took place, but it's just he was leaving. He left immediately. It's he wasn't trying to fight that situation. And he's like, "Hey, I'm not welcome here. Off I go." And he didn't even know if she was coming home. I don't even think the daughter knew she was coming home. But
Yeah.
the daughter knew, again, that the mom was a loose cannon, owned a firearm, and decided to invite someone over anyway. And I speculate that he ended up under the bed because the daughter said, "Get under the bed."
Right, 100% she did. I mean,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
so
My mom was still alive.
that's
She'd tell you a story just like that. So, not an older person, but literally, my mom came home from out of town when I was like 16, and I was like, "Fuck, my mom's back. Get underneath the bed." I mean, we were just in my room, and my mom walked in, and she was like, "Hey, why don't you get in the guest room before I yank you out by your Vans or something like that?" Because his feet were sticking out, and he was like, "Yes, ma'am," and left. So, I mean, girls and boys do shit like that when they're young. Now she's 13 years old. You're not
right.
going to tell me that that's the first time this 13-year-old has snuck a boy
Probably
into
not.
her room.
Probably
You know,
not. And again, like if I've like I said, there's a lot of people there's some young women that are completely developed by that age, and you would never think the
yeah,
wiser,
no,
And
but
there is some evidence that I did see that the gentleman was regularly commenting on TikTok of other young girls. I'm not sure exactly what ages they were, but I believe they
how
were
old is
minors.
he?
But he's 20.
Oh wow,
So, what I mean? Like
yeah,
like again, it's like, but we don't know if he's done anything with any of them or if he's met up with them. But, again, like it is a little suspicious what he was doing. Now, did he deserve to lose his life over the entire thing? No. I think he deserved maybe to have the police look into him, into
get
some degree.
arrested. Yeah,
Right, get
I
arrested.
mean,
Let justice take its course. Let the chips fall where they may. You don't just become judge, jury, and executioner right
yeah,
right there and then. Crazy. So it's going to be a very tightrope walk for that case, and I'd be interested to see where it goes. Again, who knows what other information will come out. Now, the other one I've been paying attention to, and this is taking twists and turns, is the Ohio 16 children's case with the Siders. My God. I guess they are. Okay, the last thing I saw was apparently the brother of Elizabeth Siders, and this is just what I heard through the grapevine, is I guess they're citing, or at least the brother wants her released the same as well, first of all, the grandfather, Gary Siders Sr., was released because of health reasons.
right.
Like he could not be sufficiently taken care of in the court or in the the jail system there. He got released to a hospital, and he's going to obviously have an ankle. I don't think he's going to be running off or a flight risk anytime soon. The guy apparently can
Yeah,
barely walk. And then I think the grandmother, has dementia, or she's got her own trick of
yeah,
problems. I think the biggest perpetrator in this, from what I'm seeing so far, is Gary Jr. I guess he's the one with the because they served a warrant over there for, I guess he had some indecency
yeah,
exposure
exposure. Yeah,
charges. Yeah, something else that he was doing that was quite suspicious. And then when they went over there, that's when he discovered all the kids in that 12 by 12 room. The 18-year-old, the oldest, couldn't even write her own name apparently. So,
but she's pregnant. The
oh yeah,
18-year-old.
no, the 18-year-old daughter.
Yeah, she's pregnant too.
Oh, no kidding! I didn't even know
Yeah,
about.
she
Now
can't
is
write her
that
own name, but she can let you know what I mean. Like, what was going
now?
on there, and who's she
You
pregnant
know what
by?
yeah, I was gonna say, is that something? Let's just say within the family. I wouldn't be too shocked if that was the case. This guy seemed, from everything I've read, there's nothing good to read about him. But no, as far as Elizabeth, apparently her brother said something about how their low hygiene is because they're low IQ. That's what he says. I'm like, okay. I'm not sure how that mitigates too much. Well, yeah, with the whole low IQ. Okay, well, if that was the case, then, because again, I think they slipped under the cracks because of how many times they moved. They kept
Yeah,
moving and moving into really small rural areas where it's like, there's not a lot of resources. There's not a lot of neighbors or, whatever. You saw that house was out in the middle of nowhere next to train tracks. It's like, who knows? And plus
almost
they're not.
purposely. They were
Right,
living.
and they're not staying in one place for very long. And again, it's like Gary was treating Elizabeth like a conveyor belt for children. It's like, you know what I mean? She spent 20 straight years just being pregnant all the time.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Can you imagine? And I mean, we're seeing it in women like Andrea Yates, Lindsay Clancy, all the, back to
Oh
back
yeah,
to back.
that's another one. Lindsay is another one I'm paying really close attention. I remember her arrest. It was so tragic. Hearing now on one end, I do not deny postpartum could have taken some sort of it could have accounted for this case in some way. I do not deny that that could be a possibility, but it's the calculation and her having to go out of her way to send her husband, order food from someplace a little further away, and then sending him purposely over there so it would give her time to specifically commit the unalivings of her kids, methodically. And it's just like, to me, it's like, that seems like she's a little bit too, premeditated and calculated to.
Andrea Yates did the same thing, though. I mean,
Right.
she was in and out of mental
Andrea-
institutions. She was highly medicated. She was in psychosis. She waited till Rusty went to work, even though Rusty was told by the doctor, "Do not leave her alone with these children. She is not okay. She is mentally unstable. Do not get her pregnant again." He did all the above. She
I
waited
know.
until he went to work, and she methodically drowned each one of them by age.
Yep,
But-
the middle children first. I believe Noah was last, the oldest, or
For
something like
Andrea,
that.
or
Oh, no, the baby was last. I believe Noah and the middle children were first because they were the ones that were most likely possible to get away.
right.
And then after the two oldest, and then, she went down the line. Like, yeah, again, she did it very methodically. But again, even though she did get off on not guilty by reason of insanity, she's been in a mental institution ever since. So,
Yeah.
and then Rusty, has no culpability in this, which, you know what I mean? And plus,
Thank
about
That's what I've been saying all morning, Justin. Why aren't these husbands culpable? And he was remarried within a year.
Oh, I know. And then
Same
on
thing
top
with
of that,
Lindsay.
like, did you remember the whole thing with the Warreneckis that they would, get tapes from the Warreneckis over their like really, aggressive preaching styles and all that stuff? That's kind of where Andrea got her ideas from,
Yeah.
was from Michael Warrenecki, basically saying if your kids are, quote, stumbling, then they basically are. It's better off that they have something around their neck where they can, end up underwater or something like that. Something
Right.
crazy. I remember seeing the video. And, I even looked up the Warreneckis, and like, you remember back in the 90s, it showed them with like their 6 younger children doing this preaching. Now all the kids are older and they're still out doing the same thing in other countries. They're traveling all over the place. They're very well known.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
They're the ones who had Rusty move her into the bus out there.
Into
on
the
their
bus,
compound.
yeah, because a life of luxury is like a life of sin
Yeah.
or something like
And
that.
he was
yeah,
making
yeah.
six figures at NASA and moved
I
them
know,
all
and,
there.
and then finally it was Andrea's mother that said, "No more bus, get Andrea a house." And it was not long after that what happened. But yeah, it was like Rusty kept downgrading him first from, to a cottage, to an RV, to a bus. It's like, again, because of the Warreneckis' ridiculous teachings about like, if you live in any type of luxury, then you're living a life of sin and you're getting into greed and whatever the heck else they were saying.
But yet they were taking money from Rusty, the money that he was making. He worked at the same area at NASA that my mother-in-law worked at the time. And I remember she was like, "This guy makes $118,000 a year." And that was then. That wasn't now. That was back then. That was huge.
Oh, I
money
know.
back
That's
then.
a lot of money. Oh, no. Rusty, was very lucrative. And, it's like they played those roles. Like, Andrea takes care of the kids. He brings home the bread. But again, like they lived like in modest means because of those ridiculous teachings. And, while I know that there's a lot of the medication, Andrea, because especially in the state of Texas, it's very hard to get an insanity defense to be successful. But she had such a paper trail and like, going back so long, especially with all the medications that can make you worse. And, her symptoms getting worse. And every time she had a child, things would get worse. And, that's another reckless thing. They told the husband, "Do not keep having kids. This is going to get worse each time." And then he's just like, "Well, we're going to have as many as God allows us to."
And they even told him she's not safe to be at home alone. Like she needs help.
Yeah.
Get her help.
He was given every warning in every single angle from every professional he could talk to. And he's just ignored it and left it to God. And it's just like, yep. And again, it's like, it didn't surprise me what happened. It's tragic. And then, he ended up getting remarried and having another kid with another woman. But
In a fucking year, he was remarried and she was pregnant. Within a year of losing 5 children and his wife on trial, he's remarried. I think he should have been held as culpable as she is. And I'm kind of feeling the same way with the Lindsay Clancy case. Like, he's remarried. He's got a new wife and family within 2.5 years.
I thought he was testifying on behalf of Lindsay. Like, what I'm seeing is like, he's going to be one of the main defense witnesses. I didn't know he got remarried. I thought he was sticking by her.
No, he's remarried. He's been remarried. He was
Oh, no
married like 2 months and 2 years and 4 months after the incident happened. So I don't know, but yeah, he's all the way remarried. But from what I understand, that he didn't talk to her for 6 months. He called her on her birthday because of her parents, and he asked her some questions, and he's going to answer questions for the defense, but he's not defending her actions, which she's got the paper trail, just like Andrea. Like I said earlier, when you are on these kind of medications, these pharmaceuticals are build up medications. They don't just work overnight. They have to build up in your system, and over time they start to work. You can't give somebody antipsychotics and then 2 weeks later go, oh, we're going to change them and we're going to do this because you've got this buildup over here with these antipsychotics, and you're adding this onto it. So you've got this continuous buildup of all these antipsychotics in your body, which are going to make you go into psychosis if you keep doing this. And that's
you talk about Dr. Starbranch. Dr. Starbranch. And isn't that was Andrea Yates, doctor that did
same
that
with
whole
him
thing.
and Lindsay. Lindsay, I just looked at her medication list, and hers is almost identical. Like every week, 2 weeks, they're giving her different antipsychotics, and they're building up in her system. She went to her husband a week before and said, or a few days before, and was like, I'm hearing voices. This man is telling me, that my children aren't pure or the whole, or whatever it was that Lindsay was telling him. So he was aware that she was having hallucinations, that she was not in her right, frame of mind. And like I said, if you think for 1 second, Mr. Toby's going to come up to me and say, you know what, I'm hearing voices that saying that I need to annihilate my family. You think I'm going to go pick up food and go to CVS for it? I'm leaving him alone with my kids. Why are they?
Right.
Why did they feel like it was okay to leave his 3 small children with somebody who's saying, I'm hearing voices that saying that I need to annihilate my family tomorrow.
And she was just recently admitted to a psychiatric facility. But again, you're right, because as somebody myself, I've suffered with anxiety and depression throughout a lot of my life, with a lot of issues that have gone on. And I'm only on one medication now, but when I was taking the ones that were similar to that, I was only on one where it takes time to build up in your system. It didn't really do much for me. The one I'm on now is more it's not like those ones where it builds up. It's quick acting. It's pretty immediate. Well, it has a long half-life, but it's not one that you have to build up in your system. It's one where it does its trick now, because I have a history of seizures as well. So, and it's you know what I mean. It's not. It rhymes with shamanapin. So.
Yeah, and that is a fast actor, but that's not an antipsychotic either. And if
no,
you
it's
look
not.
at
It's anti-anxiety.
And a lot of people take that for anxiety. It's a great medication because it is so fast.
I was surprised because when I first got on that medication, and believe me, I was on a merry-go-round of different stuff before I found one that worked. I found out, I was talking to a lot of my friends and colleagues and coworkers and people from the music industry, and everyone I knew suddenly was either.
Oh, we just lost Justin.
I'm still here.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, no, because when I got on that medication, trust me, I was on a merry-go-round of other stuff. At first, they didn't just put me on that. I suddenly was talking to friends and people and colleagues and people from the music industry, and oh, I've been on that for years, or oh, I'm on the same medication, or someone's on something worse. It's just in that category of schmenzos, I guess you could say.
It's a great anti-anxiety medication. It works very
fast. As long as you don't abuse it. There's a lot of people that abuse those medication. I've never, ever done that because I can't be incoherent. As soon as I start to feel sleepy or drowsy, then I'm I remember they started giving me a little bit of a high dose at first, and I'm just this is a little too much, and then they took it down, and that was much better.
That's really good because it's a very easy medication to abuse. But any medication is anything. If you do it right, it's always going to work. Even with the OXY medication and the hydrocodones and all that, those are meant for pain relief. But if you don't use them right, then you're going to get high off them. And they become addictive.
My view on that is you can abuse chocolate donuts. You know what I mean? You can abuse just about anything as long as I guess it depends on the effect it has on you. I know some people that could take stuff like that, including myself, and not have an issue. But there's some people that get exposed to it once, and it's they say they're done for or something like that. So.
Yeah.
I've never been that way because I like to function and I can't. I like to be incoherent and not knowing what's going on and just sitting there being tired all day. That's just not for me. But I know some other people that would love to sit there all day and just catch some sleepy feeling.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, while you're following the Clancy case, go look up her medication list that she had over the 60 days. and you'll see what I'm saying. It was insane what they were putting her on, and they're all build up medications, and that's what happens when you do the same thing with Andrea. They were doing the same
Yep.
thing with her, and it's just, so somebody's got to be held responsible for this, either the doctors or the spouse who's leaving these children in harm's way when they know they're in harm's way, or the doctors for releasing her from the hospital when she checked herself in and was like, I'm not safe to be at home. And they're like, you're going to be fine. We're just going to switch your medications to a stronger antipsychotic, even though you've been taking this. And then we're going to switch it in 2 weeks. I mean, what did they expect to happen? It was a
Exactly.
recipe for disaster.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, and just like I said, they put, again, not only do they stop having her take one, but immediately starting another one. It's like, and they don't monitor her for a period of time. It's like, she went inpatient, I think once or twice, but I think they should have kept her for a longer period to test to see how she responded to those medications, especially being in, having children in your life before releasing her, indefinitely.
Yeah.
If, especially she, went in voluntarily. So it's like, you would think like she would get the best level of care and, knowing like what the possible, instead of guinea pigging her and be like, well, we'll just give you this and see what happens, knowing that they could have the opposite effect, because some of them are known for that.
Yeah.
Where you could become more of a danger to yourself or someone else. And unfortunately, that seems to be what happened, because she did try to also take her own life. So
Yeah.
it was.
And she wasn't on just the antipsychotic. She was on Klonopin. It was one of them. She was on Valium. She was on the lorazepam, which is Ativan. So I mean,
they gave her 3 different benzos at the same time.
Within like a 2-week period, they changed it up. So she was. I think the first one was at Ativan, which is a low dose like lorazepam.
Yeah, it's very, very low. And then Valium, and then Klonopin, and then you could do like Xmanax after that if you want. I know the different levels of them, and but it's like those ones are not time. Those don't take time to kick in. Those are pretty immediate, just from experience, because I'm on one of those. So it's like I get it.
For anxiety issues and stuff, so that they can
panic attacks. Because for example, I used to. Especially after I started getting older, one thing I couldn't handle anymore in New York City was being really close to people on the train, having people huddle against me on the train. The claustrophobia was something where almost my whole body would lock up, and I start to have blurred vision and stuff like that. And there's things that were going on that never went on before, and it also might run in my family, because I believe. I think maybe my grandmother, some other that had the same panic attack, really bad anxiety issues. And, before I used to be able to handle stuff like that. Okay. But then just, at some point, and then even driving, once in a while, I used to have to pull over the car. And because I used to have my vision would kind of go blurry, and then you would have a panic attack, thinking you were having you think you were declining at the wheel or something like that, and then you have this panic attack and you pull the car over immediately, and then finally when I ended up on the medication I'm on now, I don't have to do. I could drive perfectly fine, but if I was off of it, I probably wouldn't be able to drive safely. Because my vision would be all over the place. And it's I had a weird alignment issue with my eyes for some reason, because it was anxiety related. And then, it was just, there's and again, it's not like I was stressing over something specifically. It was just something that was just kind of happening, subconsciously in a way. So, it could be chemical imbalances, same way that people need Adderall for they can't pay attention. I seem to have the opposite problem where my brain is going in 10 different directions at the same time. And it's I can't shut my brain up. And so I need, something to chill it out before things get a little crazy, because I've had grand mal seizures where you bite your tongue, you have a period of amnesia. But the couple times it's happened to me, they kept me in the hospital for over a week each time, because my vitals were so bad. They had to hit me with Ativan 5-6 times the second time that happened. It was bad.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 0 stars, would not recommend.
No, I wouldn't. But now, what you're on now, it works for you. You found your.
Oh, absolutely. I've been on it for 15 years without a problem. 15 years without an issue. And again, there's some doctors, when you move, some doctors will look at that medication and be oh, I want nothing to do with this, because it's, it's something that a psychiatrist normally gives out. But, one thing that but then again, if you have a paper trail that goes back far enough, it's I'm not asking you to re-diagnose me or, start from scratch here. It's I've had this, for the past, 15 plus years. And then once they see my, background with it, and that I haven't had any problems with abusing it. Like, I come in there, I don't look messed up or anything, or my eyes aren't bloodshot, like I'm perfectly coherent. Like, they're like, okay. Or like sometimes they might monitor it a little closely, like we'll give you like 2 weeks at a time, fine. And and on top of that, like, it also shows that, like, when I originally was put on the medication, I said it was a little bit too much. I was like, I think I need a lower dose because it was a little bit too much. I'm like, that's not something someone like that's abusing that would say. So it's just like, if anything, I wanted them to give me less of it because I was just trying to keep myself balanced. I wasn't trying to catch some euphoric feeling. But I could see. But when I read about it, I was like, yeah, this is right up there with alcohol and some of the other ones that are widely abused. So
Yeah.
I knew there was going to be some mixed opinions from doctors about that medication. Some say it's only supposed to be for short-term situations. I'm like, well, not always. I mean, it can be therapeutically taken and in certain situations. And I'm like, if you want to go over my entire diagnosis, that's fine. But, otherwise it's just like, I mean, even Gypsy herself was stealing one of the schmenzos from her mom. I think she had Zanny the nanny.
Yeah, that, and I think it was hydrocodone that she was taking, but she was using them to get high. You know what I mean? Like, that's what people do. I mean,
especially if you took both of them. Oh my God, what a cocktail that is! I'm surprised you wouldn't OD on something like that.
Yeah, or just be a complete. But you can see in some of her videos where she's just like, she looks so high in the videos. You can, when she's making them the Nick, there's one in particular, and I can't remember what she was talking about, but she was talking about, I think, another girl, and she's just slurring and looks like she is just wiped. And you can see it in some of the videos.
One thing though, she keeps blaming the brownie video on the rugs, and you want to, in my opinion, because I know how those rugs work on people, including myself. I haven't had the codone one, but I had the other one. It's just like, it doesn't make you sit there laughing and giggling and being uppity and energetic. It's just like, no, you were not on a whole bunch of, and plus, like, if that was the case, when she got arrested and got put in that interrogation room for all those hours, she would have had like massive like withdrawals and stuff like that. She would have been again, she was hungry, she was uppity, she was feeling fine. She was talking about Magic Kingdom the whole time. It's just like she didn't seem distressed from any medication issue at all. And I found it funny. She was like, I can't be in jail because I have these medical issues. It's just like, if medical issues that were, especially where you could up and walk perfectly fine, they're gonna be like, okay, we won't put you in jail, then no one would go to jail.
Yeah.
But I always tell people that interrogation is everything. If you want to know the real Gypsy Rose, it's in that interrogation tenfold. Because again, it's like, this is before Mike Stanfield got to her, before any preconceived notions about using a Shabuse narrative, including it with the media and with Christy and everything came along. Her narrative was, I did not do this. My boyfriend did it. My mother was my best friend. I loved her. And it's just like, right. It's like she didn't even think of the Shabuse narrative to even lie about. You would think someone would go and lie about that. She didn't even, it was so out of her mind. Like away from her mind, she didn't even think about it to use as a lie. It's just like, so again, it's just like to go from that. And then also, if the Shabuse narrative were true, let's pretend, play devil's advocate that it was true. Why would Mike Stanfield say they had no defense to mount for her? Wouldn't that be a good defense? Hey, her mom was doing all these medical Shabusive things. She saw no way out. It's like, why is he saying that they had no defense to mount if that could have been a defense? I don't understand that.
Yeah, it's funny. I have a like an 83-year-old patient that I help, and she watches all this stuff with me. She lives for it, and she made and I never thought about this till she said it. She looked at me one day and she goes, so when did she have did she have a TBI when she moved to Missouri? And I was like, why? And she goes, well, she had the motorcycle accident. Is that when she had the TBI, which is a traumatic brain injury? And I was like, no, why? And she goes, well, when she's in Louisiana, she's dressing normal. She looks normal. She's, other than she's not using her legs, like she looks like a regular kid. And then all of a sudden she's in Missouri and she's dressing weird and she's acting weird and, slow in this. And she was like, when did she have that? And I was like, well, she didn't. And she was, well, then why is she acting like this in Missouri? And here's where it all clicked for me is that, they used the whole Hurricane Katrina, which they were not at the Superdome. I've got lists of people at the Superdome. They were not there. That's a fucking lie. And I'll bet you $1,000, Gypsy Rose, you can't show me you were at the Superdome. I will take that Pepsi challenge with you all day long because you weren't there. But they use that to get the Habitat house. And I know that because I talked to the Habitat people. They contacted me at the very beginning. That's how they got that house in Missouri. So was she, and she was 15 when they moved up there. Was she, I think that her and Dee Dee were doing this together
Oh yeah.
because of the leg thing. And then when she ran away to see what's his face and
Danny
she found
Blackwell.
out she could really walk, and she told Gypsy, you're going to go to jail. Like, you've been making us all think that you can't walk, and we've been getting all this money and these trips and everything. You're going to end up in jail. And I think that's when Gypsy decided that she didn't want to go to jail, and she just had to get rid of her so she could go out there and live her best life and be a hoe in the streets. I really do believe that's it. And my lady pointed that out. She was like, she didn't do this for any other reason, and that she got a taste of being spending the night with some guy and couldn't figure out how she wasn't going to go to jail. When Dee Dee brought her home, it was like, you can act like a hoe in the house, but when you walk out the door, you're going to keep doing this, or they're going to
Right.
figure out that this was all a lie and you're going to go to jail because you're an adult.
There was an active investigation into both of them at the time of the unaliving. So Gypsy knew that the eyes were on the both of them, and then she thought, you know what? And plus, I also truly believe that she had genuine hatred for her mother because she was her mom was not at liking when she, for example, is trying to pursue married men. Taking naked pictures of herself at age 15, sending them to a whole bunch of older men. That's not something a mom exactly would be thrilled about. But it's like, and then again in the interrogation, I always say the closest to you'll get to the truth is in that interrogation. Even though she's lying about her involvement with the unaliving, the details that she's giving about her mom and herself and all that, I don't think she's lying about that. I think she's trying to use that truth to mix it with lies in order to make it look like she would never do this because her and her mom, she loved her mom, even though she didn't, but she never said anything about her mom doing anything to her. She never said. And again, like another thing with the legs is like one thing, like my brother's died from muscular dystrophy is her legs are going to atrophy if you're not using them. Her legs, and that's how the legs are not atrophying, and that's why Gypsy was in the room alone with the physician. He said, stand up. I know for a fact you can stand up.
Yeah,
And she did.
exactly.
And she stood right up.
Didn't.
And here's another thing I always challenge Gypsy supporters. They're like, oh, well, she should try leaving. Oh, she tried. It's like, okay, first of all, she tried one time, and it was to go to a married man's house, and his friends are the ones that called and said, hey, come get your girl. This is a very shady person. She might be a minor. Get her out of here. And then, it's like, how do you go from that to schmurder? You can't try again? It's like, really? It's like you have the ability to, okay, let's pretend that the police really do think that, because of what Dee Dee says, that she's got the mind of a 6-year-old. Don't listen to a word she says. What do you think the police are going to think if she rolled herself down there in the wheelchair, jumped out of that wheelchair, and started running circles around it? Do you really think that they're going to sit there and be like, well, mommy said this and mommy said that? No, they're going to be like, no, something's terribly wrong here. We know Gypsy can articulate herself perfectly fine. So she'd be like, hey, guys, let me tell you something. My mom has been lying about me. She's been lying about my medical conditions. I can articulate myself fine. I'm 23 years old. I can prove it. And she could say whatever she wants about my mental state. I can articulate myself perfectly fine. Guys, get me away from her.
Yep.
That it could have been as easy as that. Or, hey, Rod, hey, Dad, come get me. My mom's, being a whatever. It's like, they would have came and got her at any time. And here's another thing. She continued to lie to Rod and Christy over the phone. It's like, if you're going to tell somebody about the supposed abuse, it's going to be them.
Yeah.
But again, it's the same
I
old thing.
loved my mama. I would never do it. Remember that call to Christy? I love my mama.
And she goes, and the baby voice is firing on all cylinders. And she's like, they arrested the man that did it. Like she doesn't know who he is. Yeah. I'm just like, the man. And it's crazy. It's just like, again, and like also just listening to that voice and plus like watching her do so I always say it's the Pee Wee Herman look because she looks like Pee Wee Herman when she's doing that, when she's acting shocked about her mom being unalived or whatever. When they tell her, she's making that little back and forth face with her, whatever. It's just like, she looks like the Pee Wee Herman look. And, it's just right there, like her trying to use the duper's delight, the deception, taking the teeth out. And, again, she thought she was going to talk about Magic Kingdom the whole time and just, get them to, let her go, thinking that they're just going to forget their train of thought and they're just going to drive her back to the pink house and she's just going to be a victim.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she thought that if she didn't do the crime physically, that she was not going to have any culpability. Nick's going to take the complete fall for this and hold the bag, and she's going to go back to that pink house, and suddenly she's going to have a whole new grift. Oh, my poor mom. This
Yeah.
boyfriend that was obsessed with me just, unalived my poor mom because, he wanted, I think she told Christy, like, he wanted me to come and live with him. It's just like, and you know what? I'm really the part where Gypsy only bought one ticket back to Wisconsin is always fascinated me because I truly believe that I think she thinks the police were going to show up at the house because maybe Dee Dee would scream really loud or something was going to happen in the neighborhood where they were going to catch Nick in the act, and then they were going to find Gypsy in the bathroom hiding from him. Like, oh my God. But all they had to do is
You
look in that
nailed
cell
it right
phone.
there. That's
Yeah, and-
exactly it. She thought he'd get caught, and that's why she only bought the one ticket back, and that didn't happen. And she had to get another ticket and go through all this last minute mail in the knife and everything else. I agree with you 100%. She never expected him to leave ever. I don't
Right,
think.
and even if that was the case, I think maybe she thought even if he did complete the job, she was going to come up with something to cook up some story where it's like, hey, I just have one ticket for you to go back. But then he's going to be like, well, what do you mean? I was coming down here to pick you up. Why aren't you coming with me? And then that's when she had to kind of go along with that whole thing. Plus, she can't sit in the house by herself with a body there, so she had to kind of get out of there. Now, where they could have stayed on the run a little bit longer had she not go on Facebook and left those putrid messages on the thing.
Right.
She says it was because she wanted them to find the body. I'm like, listen, if that was the case, she would have made an anonymous 911 call, and that's all it would have taken. Got out of there within 30 seconds. They would have known who it was coming from. But to sit there and say that you wrote those disgusting messages, to say because you wanted them to find the body is absurd. No, she was trying to throw off the investigators to make it like some boogeyman did it. And then he just logged onto their computer for the heck of it and was just like and just confessed right there. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Nah,
Have you noticed how quiet the family's been since the FOIAs come out? I've noticed they're all radio silent now. I don't think they have a clue.
Mia has defriended Gypsy altogether. She has gone off on her own way and completely reintroduced herself as someone completely independent of, and she's gonna love. I believe that she's gonna love the day that the Blanchard name is no longer gonna be her last name. Thank God for her.
Yeah,
that name is tarnished at this point.
I'm happy for her that she left Louisiana and that she's down here. And I do know that somebody from his family contacted me. Her fiance is not under any circumstances to film or be anywhere in anything with Gypsy or the family. Nothing. They forbid him. So I think that move down to Florida was a big part of that as well, because his family won't have any fucking part of it at all.
Oh no, especially with Gypsy and her friends having some very racist ideologies towards Nina and some of the other content creators. And I'm hearing about this. I think they tried to strike me down on something because one of my posts for the first time got a strike on it, and I've never received a strike before, and I appealed it right away. And apparently they tried doing it on other ones, but it didn't go through for them.
Yeah.
But I think if the same IP address or the same people profiles are attacking certain content creators, and they see the abuse of the DMCA copyright strikes and stuff like that. TikToks can take notice of that, being they're trying to abuse the system to take videos down that they don't like, not because they're breaking any rules, but because they just don't like the content. And that's another reason they say Gypsy and Ken are trying to get off TikTok so they can go do that behind the scenes and be like, hey, we didn't do anything, we got off of here. But I brought up with Dreamer, and I'm going to bring it up again. Why is Ken boarding the dog? What's going on?
Because he doesn't trust her, obviously. And I had, like I said, I talked to a few of the family members here and there, and I knew a while back that this was before the video came out, the blanket. So I wasn't quite sure. I thought it was just because of her, but now I see that she hasn't been left with Aurora in quite some time. There's always been a buffer. And now that Ken has said this about Parker, I completely believe that she's not allowed with either one.
Right, because I'm thinking if he doesn't trust her with a dog, it's how is he going to trust her with a child? The child's got to be with somebody else, one of Ken's family members or somebody. become one, because it's like it doesn't make any sense that she could take, because that I call Gypsy two things: no job Gypsy and no ring Blanchard. So no job Gypsy is basically at home doing nothing all day. But again, like, yeah, I kind of got paranoid in that blanket video with Parker standing 2 feet behind her while she's using sharp scissors to go ape at a blanket. And it's not the fact that she's having that crash out and doing something like that. It's just the fact that she set up a tripod and went out of her way to make sure that this got caught perfectly on film. And then you know what I mean. And again, it's just
She's been doing that her whole life, though. She was doing that with Nick, setting up a tripod, making videos. I mean, she hasn't changed. It's just what she does.
They say one of two things, if not both things at the same time. Like, well, she's grown so much and she's a great mom and she's this and that. And then, we point out stuff like this. Oh, well, she's going to make mistakes. She didn't get to live a proper life. Let her make mistakes. It's like, well, you're making a very good case for why she should not be a mother then, if she's just going to make all these mistakes. Not that Schmurder is enough of a mistake, but you know what I mean? Let's just have her make more mistakes and more. And like, so what makes you think she's suitable to be a mother again, if this is really how you look at it? Again, you can't have this both ways. Either she is, grown enough to be able to take care of a child and take care of, her household situation. But, as soon as I heard that the dog was being born, and I heard it from Ken's own mouth to Morbid.
Ken's own mouth, yep. And I think he did that on purpose, Justin. I think he threw that out there because he's, without confirming things, that was a confirmation to me. You know what I mean?
Well, to me, it was too. And also the pictures of Gypsy in the background, it looks like she's at her parents' house. Doesn't look like she's at the one that she was at with Ken. The recent pictures that she put up, or I forget where it was, maybe Instagram, where it shows that I think she's at her parents' house. So, it's something beyond, I think her and Ken constantly go through these, break up, back together types of things. That's why no ring has ever ended up on her finger, because they're just a toxic situation that's just back and forth like ping pong, make up, break up, make up, break up. And,
doing this since she was pregnant. When Nina put out that they broke up right before the shower, that was 100% true. And I know it's true because I'm the one who heard it from one of the production guys that was working with Lifetime. And they absolutely did break up. His family was in town. It was a big fucking thing. They've been doing this since they got together. And again, I'll take the Pepsi challenge all day if you want to try to prove me wrong, because I'm not wrong. And neither was Nina. They've been doing this a long time. I think Ken got what he wished for, and now he's probably regretting a lot of it, to be honest with you.
According to Autumn, she said that he's afraid to leave her. He's afraid of, actually afraid of her, like what might happen to him if he actually does break it off for good, type of thing. And he has threatened, and he told me this in a live stream with me. He told me on my live that he did threaten to take Aurora and go to Texas. He acts like this is just something everyday couples do. I'm like, not really, bro. Like, that's some serious stuff. That's not just everyday threats of taking your child and leaving with them, and leaving the mom to basically fend for herself. That's not normal.
Oh, he'd take Aurora with them. I know he would. And Texas would give him Aurora. I assure you.
If they saw Schmurder on her record, she'd be dead to rights. Absolutely dead to rights. They do not mess around with that. Like, in Texas, you hardly get out of prison on those charges anyway. But in the event that you do, they're not giving you a kid to take care of. Absolutely. They would. I heard that they would recognize you as the biological parent, and that's all. You might have some supervised visitation. That's it. Otherwise, it's just like, no. The custody is going to be going to the one that does not have Schmurder on the record. So again, I'm going to be. Everyone's asking me to do it. I've been doing the debunk series of debunking Gypsy with her own words, but I think one thing I want to do is some people have been requesting that I do like a deep dive into both Ryan and Ken. Like, I've done stuff like in the past where I, kind of went into their psyches a little bit, but I think I'm going to do like another little series of really doing a deep dive into Ken and Ryan, seeing if they fit the hybristophilia chart. The hybristophilia is, the DSM-5 term of being attracted to a violent criminal, and to see if they fit that criteria, and talk about their similarities and differences, and just their basic dynamics, like between Gypsy and both of those men, and the similarities as well, regarding their personalities. So that's probably my next angle I'm going to take with that, because Yeah, because again, like I get a lot of messages from people that want male perspectives on stuff like that,
I
especially
love
with.
that you're here. You know, I've always told you that since the beginning. Like, we needed you so bad in this community. I love your
I'm glad
perspective
because
on
I didn't
everything.
know what I was going to do on TikTok. I was like, I might do movie reviews. I might do my music and just play guitar all day because I used to do that. I'm like, let me see what it is. And then I saw like Gypsy Rose constantly trending. I'm like, oh, that's that muscular dystrophy fake girl or whatever. And I had
Yeah.
brothers with muscular dystrophy. So I was like, maybe I could share my brother's story and call the
And that was
Gypsy out.
big that you did that, Justin. I mean, that was a big part of you to share. And it made, especially I think creators like me that have been here since the beginning, appreciate your perspective on this so much more.
That was my first video. That was my very first video, and it went to like 60K. I was like, oh wow, I think I found my place. So
Yeah.
I stuck with it.
Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I reached out to you. I was like, I need to like talk to this guy. Like, and you have a very, you don't get involved in the drama. You're so
No,
transparent about things, and I love that about you. And it's rare here, as you know. But you will come up here and have a conversation. You'll hear other people out. You'll give your opinion, and sometimes you're even swayed, or you sway the other person. And I like that about you. I always have. So
just keep an open mind. But yeah, one thing it's really like unfortunate is like seeing these content creators getting fights with each other. It's like, hey, aren't we supposed to be on the same side of the aisle here? You know, it's like whatever personal nonsense you have going on. It's like you should keep it off of. Keep it out of the gyp first because that's just going to be a win for them. So it's just like seeing us all go at each other for whatever reason. And again, some people try to drag me into certain situations, and I'm just like, that's not happening. Or if they ask questions about a certain person, place, or thing, or something that has nothing that's got to do with my personal life or someone else's personal life or what have you, it's just like, no, we're here to talk about the case, and it's just like, I'm not getting dragged into that, and I've never once, caved into that. I think one live. I let a couple people that had some, beef with each other go at each other, and believe me, it was very exhausting listening to it.
yeah,
Nothing against the people that were in it, but it's just like I was just kind of like, "Are you guys done yet?" Because it's like this is, as far as I'm going with it. It's like get your, get your 2 cents out, and let's just keep it moving. But
And I
it's
think that's
all
why
about
people have followed you and still do so much because they know they can go into your lives, kind of like mine. And I'm not doing all that drama. I'm not fighting with anybody on here. Like I want to talk about the cases, and people want that place to go where they can still talk about the true crime community and not,
Yeah, that's basically what I do. I'm here for true crime. I'm not here to debate someone else's personal life, unless it's Gypsy because there's a child involved and she's a murderer. But you know what I mean? It's just like, and again, like, Gypsy she could sit there and try to censor everybody she wants and shut everyone down. If you're going to go out there and call yourself a public figure and try to grift off your crime and grift off the notoriety of your crime, you have to deal with stuff like this. You're going to have to deal with people that are going to call you out because that, you're going to get you're opening yourself up to criticism, and that's just the way it goes.
100%.
No one's required to come out and just praise you, and that's it. That's especially if you're a murderer. That's never happening.
I agree 100%. Well, if you're going to be on tonight, let me know. I have to take my son over to the DNV again today because he failed his eye test yesterday. So we're going to go head over there and go up to school and get him enrolled in his college classes. But if you go on, let me know because I'd love to come up and chat with you somewhere. I always enjoy being on panel.
Yep, I got to get some stuff done. I got to go to work soon. So, yep, sounds good to me, Jen. Always love talking with you guys and everyone in the chat. Have a good rest of your day, everybody.
You too. Bye, everybody. I got to go too. I got to take this kid over to. Why are you here? You just scared the shit out of me. God, my husband's here. I even know it. When did you walk in?
Because it's my house.
It is your house. If y'all haven't ordered this yet, I just got this in the mail while I was live with Justin. This, do y'all remember this? It smells, it is the stuff. So it's on TikTok shop right now. I'm not going to put the link because I don't make money on here because I don't think it's right. But anyways, order that. It smells just like, and it's like unisex. Smell this. Tell me what you think. You remember this? It smells just like the Hollister store. Y'all remember that? So I ordered it. I didn't remember ordering it until it just came, but I do shit like that in the middle of the night after I take my sleeping pill, and I got another person too. All right, but I gotta go, and I hope Justin comes on later because I'd like to get on panel with him again. But I will. Smell that. Do you remember the Hollister store? It's the unisex stuff. It smells good, huh? Liam just put it on.
What is the Fruit Loose stuff?
That was from Bath and Body Works. All right. Well, anyways, I gotta go, y'all. I gotta get my kid up to the school and be a mother today. So I'll jump on later. Love you guys. Bye.